Yes, it was actually a bit of a weird one happening there. This came up, but then I refreshed the times and I meant to get it, so actually this popped up a few times, which it was actually came through. So, hello? Hi, no, is it? How are you, Ron? How's things? Nothing bad, how are you? So it's going to be different from what it usually is because.
Okay, I'm going to be watching the screen.
Yeah, I'm going to set up your screen now, and the first is for 10 minutes. So
Perfect. That's madness here. We're spread thin. We're trying to find people all week with frags on and Nelly's gone over there, and then I think this kind of came out of nowhere. We were funny decided to redo it last minute. So
really,
I know we were told. We weren't even told until about 2 weeks back.
Really? Oh yeah, no, sorry, I didn't mean to. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's how they do. Yep, that's all. Alright.
Hackers! Colin! Colin!
So nothing that we did.
Oh yeah. Oh, you can't know this. Most of it from my side is that. Brendan, how's things? Hello? Hey Brendan, what's the story? Wait, when you get here, you walk around for the force and you see an ambulance. And you see the ambulance in, you walk back from the ambulance towards the building and you see the building past the windows there and on why the ambulance guys walk back from the ambulance and see us right in the corner. What? Great, cool. Thanks, Rob. Okay, bye. So I managed to find somebody else who's going down to as well. Last night. Met him and was like, "Do you want to do this?" Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, are we a dude on a quad bike? Oh, what's the story? How are we actually getting the footage?
There's a guy on the roof.
Up on the roof, okay.
Yeah, straight above us.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so
It's not Jar, is it?
no,
Jar's in
no.
the heights.
Jar's not locked into this one. No, no. Just as good.
Jar loves his lyrics though, you know?
He loves it, like, he's nice. Freak show. Yeah, I saw Jar was on yesterday.
Yeah, I suppose kind of he ran to his normal level rather than what he'd achieved over the last few weeks. He was off the drugs, so we were basically saying.
Right, so that's what you're going to see. Unfortunately, you're going to see the Johnson.
That's kind of there.
So it's just two of you.
Yeah, and then he'll leave him there then for his own. Are you doing the varsities as well, or you're done and dusted by any?
No, the whole whatever full shape it is.
Okay.
So what's it, 4?
There's before, yeah. I think it's very low piece in and then with I think I permission to cover off.
Oh, really?
Actually, I get the bus back with the team, so we'll be on after we get most of the senior boys, or the actual race with the senior boys, well, the varsity race.
Are you staying? You're not staying with Rasmus?
I'll stay for about half the varsities, yeah, and then hey John, what's the crack? Late 11, nice. Where's that? You reading the script? Oh, well known for the use of pet substances. I'm not surprised. They're kicking off now, I assume, no? The boys are pumped and ready to go. I think we're going to win the overall. No, not yet. I'm sure it's on the way. Maybe. Hi. Great. Okay, sounds good. Best of luck. Wait.
Where'd you go?
Bit of rock and roll.
I think they're sticking to schedule. Do you know where the races start?
They start just we see, yeah, you can see on screen here.
Oh, it's actually so he's spot on, isn't he?
Yeah.
Maybe talking to myself, this isn't talking or admin or anything. Alright, it looks like we're ready to go here for the first race. Ready to go, first race.
Ready to Feels a bit strange now, Mark, from Air TV. It's just myself and yourself here in Clongowes Wood College, getting ready for the start of the minor girls. So we have a bit of ad hoc coverage today. We'll be popping in and out and trying to give you as much cover as possible. But I am as always double jobbing and coaching and commentating at the same time. But this minor girls here today, we've very nice course. Fantastic venue, Clongowes Wood College, down here in Clane. Bit difficult to get to for a lot of people, but the actual avenue itself, as John May just told me on the phone there, Palatial Avenue, he described it as from Knockbeg College. So it's a very exceptional venue. We've got a strange enough course. It's very spectator friendly, but lots of tight turns and quite flat. Small bit of a hill, probably about halfway through the first lap. So. But a nice flat course, and the ground and the going is good, as they'd say in the horse racing. So these minor girls, they've got just one big lap, that's 2,000 metres, and they're just getting on the line here now. So the people to look for in this one are the winners of the actual provincial titles themselves. Niamh O'Reilly, Ellie Croom from Mount Temple, Ursula Blewett from St Mary's, and Jane Duffy from Ballybay CS in Ulster. So we've got an exciting field here. Most of these girls would have only just started running in the last few months for this race, so we can often see at minor level you've got some club athletes who've been running for a few years, and then you've got people who've just taken up the sport in school. So some great talent always seen in the minor girls races, and tends to be fairly fast from the gun. So hopefully we'll hear that gun quite soon. And they're off in this minor girls. Teams to watch out for in this one are St Natty's, Balladreen in Connacht, Mount Sackville in Dublin. You see them in the kind of, I suppose, purpley tops there and left of screen, and I suppose a light pink perhaps instead. And then we also have Inverskeen, Kinmare, who are very competitive throughout the years from Munster. And then Ulster, we have Strathearn, Belfast. So they're the top teams going into this event. As they go down here through, come to this first corner here on these rugby pitches down in Clongowes Wood, you take quite a sharp turn here, which is, I suppose, quite difficult for these girls. You see a faller there already, which is going to be a feature of the day with that first corner. A lot of people running quite fast into the first corner and then taking that turn tightly and falling. So elbows out as for balance, I suppose, rather than anything else. Balance off a few people's faces, I said, as they go around that corner. So at this stage, it's starting to string out a little bit already. We've absolutely no idea who's leading at the moment, but it is an excellent race thus far, fast from the gun. People to look forward to throughout the day. You'll have the junior boys and junior girls come up as well quite soon, as well as the minor boys. Another minor boys will be a fantastic race, and we'll get to that quite shortly. But this minor girls is starting very well, and we can already see a gap growing there back to the girl in blue there in about maybe 20th place, and there's already a gap growing between the top few individual athletes and then the team runners themselves. So one team that I can see featuring quite strongly there is Mount Sackville in the kind of purpley light pink tops, just on the right of the screen. There's two of them there. So, and those athletes will be coming around that corner there in momentarily. So we just got a little bit of a blind spot there on this castle here. Is Pale Castle is still the very outside of the Pale down here in Clongowes Wood College, and wondrous venue, great castle. It's quite, I suppose, domineering when you come in. So you'll enjoy entering today's Irish schools. Wonderfully run so far. Really excellent job done by the Irish Schools Association in association with GloHealth, and really fantastic venue that's been set up today. We're hoping to get Brendan O'Neill coming in shortly to be my co-host. Brendan himself went to St Michael's College, another rugby school, and competed over 5,000 metres on the track for St Michael's. So he's known to most athletics people from DSD there. So he's been around the block a few times. Has ran 7:57 for 3,000 metres. So he'll be well versed in cross country as well, having won a European gold medal 2 or 3 years back in the European cross country. So hopefully we'll get them back on screen shortly. Not sure what type of stone that is. Sandstone, perhaps? It's expensive stone, according to Mark from Air TV here, who wishes not to be named. So they'll be coming around this corner here. As you can see, it's quite tight. Just stand up here. We can actually see them come around. I can see them. You can't see anything, but they're coming around the course now. We'll start to see them come into the shot there. So we've a girl there, we've a couple of girls, mainly girls in this race, and they're actually coming up towards the corner again. So a great spectator course here, a little bit of sand there just to mess with the rhythm a little bit. But we're coming around, taking a right here, and they'll head out towards the back of the course. As you can see, great support here from the supporters. In fact, the crowd that's here, the crowd has already gathered, and it is a fantastic spectator course. And most of those spectators will be Clongowes Wood students later on. They get off school at 12:30, and they will be out to watch their man Jack O'Leary take on Kevin Mulcair in the senior boys race. But at the moment, I think that is Niamh O'Reilly from Moat Community School there at the front. So it's hard to tell at the moment in terms of numbers, but really, really impressive front running here from this athlete in blue. And I'll just stick my head out the window here and see if I can hear who is in fact leading this race. No, I'd say, look, we're already winning by the fact that we're two of them. I don't know these things. So as you can see now, they're going out to the back of the course. I'm still failing miserably in my attempt to find out who is actually leading this race, but I know St. Natty's Balladreen is competing very, very well in this team race. As you can see there, the athlete in fourth is actually wearing a tracksuit, is working very, very hard to get up to this group here, so she seems to be going quite strongly in the closing stages. But they'll come around now into the finish. As they turn this corner, they will have about 200 or 300 metres towards this finish. So these four are going to be our medalists. And they are, I suppose, a classy field. You'll actually see this is turning out to be a fantastic race here. Is the smaller athlete there with the red and black in third place is actually flying up through this field here as we cut just behind the trees. We'll see how on the opposite side of this trees how this one turns out. Will the athlete have got by? We've actually got our small little athlete there going to second place. I feel that our winner here will be our winner, but it's a great battle here for second place. And there are your 1, 2, 3, and our 4th place are there coming in from that school in blue. So fantastic finish there. And those girls, very much, those 4 girls, a class ahead of the rest of the field. So we've only had a minor girls competition and minor boys competition in the last few years. The vast majority of the time it's been just juniors. Minors used to stop at provincial level, but they've now started to come to the All-Irelands as well, which is obviously a great experience for them to be running at this level. But as you see, many athletes coming in here now, and the difficult thing now for the organisers is going to be trying to get those athletes through, tired athletes getting them through the field. I can see one Mount Sackville runner in already, so they're normally very, very strong at this level. So we can see athletes pouring into the finish there now at this stage. And at this stage, it's kind of difficult to decipher how well teams have done. But I know Mount Sackville will be one of the ones that'll be looking to win that team title. They've already been down here a few weeks back for a photo shoot for the GloHealth Irish Schools Championships. And they are always very, very strong at Leinster level. Inverskey, Kinmare looking to hopefully pick up medals as well in the team, the winners of the Munster Championships. So hard to tell at this stage where exactly that race fell in terms of the results.
Hi, this is Mark here from RTV. I'm just over here running, and we're wondering, is it possible for us to get some results over to us by any chance? Yeah. if you look at the ground floor, if you look where the camera is in the ground floor, there's the windows are open. They can just come up to the window, and they can just it's a hand into the window. Yeah, you just. Thanks, man. He's going to try and sort that. The results guys are over in the far building.
Yeah.
He's here over. He's heading to the other. So we should have results from that minor girls coming across to us shortly, but this next race on now will be the junior or the minor boys 2,500 meters. So they'll have a short lap, which means earlier on the left-hand side of your screen you would have seen the lap, a little loop from the start. They'll have to do that firstly, and then they will head out then for one further bigger lap for the second part of the race. But in this minor boys, we've got some perennial powerhouses here in Royce College, Westport, who won the senior boys down in CIT only 2 years ago, I believe, with David Harper being one of their main athletes out there. So obviously a bit of a dynasty starting to grow out in Royce College, Westport. I know they arrived earlier on a fairly large bus as well, so plenty of their athletes competing today. From Leinster we'll have Naas CBS, who had a fantastic run in the Leinsters, taking the win in that one and kind of flying under the radar against St. Aidan's and St. Kieran's College, who normally would be very, very strong at Leinster level. So St. Augustine's Dungarvan, former student there, Dave McCarthy's ran a 3:55 mile, and they also produced many, many pole vaulters over the years. So they've always been a very, very strong cross-country school, and as well as that, they produced many other runners like Dermot O'Foglu, former Irish school steeplechase medalist, and also Ferdy O'Heda, who would have been former Ireland close medalist. So plenty of athletes coming out of St. Augustine's over the years. And then also in Ulster we have three of our constant Ulster powerhouses, Omagh CBC, St. Coleman's Newry and St. Malachy's Belfast, and the other major Ulster competitors are normally St. Eunan's Letterkenny and St. Michael's Enniskillen, but they didn't qualify in this minor boys race. So same again as in terms of the level of the race, you'll see plenty of athletes will improve massively over the last few weeks, and school athletes versus club athletes as well in this one. So it really is a real melting pot, and we're going to see some real talent coming through. So one of the guys to look out for in this one is Lewis O'Loughlin from Moyle Park. I watched him win the West Leinsters and the Leinsters at a canter, barely even out of breath by the end of it, wearing a full tracksuit and with a singlet over the top of it. So he's a man who obviously doesn't feel that he needs to take off the tracksuit to win the race. He's a very, very talented young man. So he's one of our major, I suppose, favourites for this title here. He'll be in blue. As well as that, Jake Bagg, who I was speaking to his coach there, Shem Cooper, whose son Kevin Cooper's ran a 4:01 mile and also won the 2005 Intermediate Schools 1,500 metres out of CBS Tramore as it was then. And I see that Jake Bagg runs for Ard Skull and Namara Tramore, and he's obviously a very, very talented athlete. Shem Cooper will be well known to many athletes that have been on the circuit over the last few years. Along with Brendan Quinn as well, Irish record holder for the steeplechase. Another notable entry in that is Sean Campbell from Abbey Grammar School in Newry, and also Cathal Corkin from Coolip Post Primary School in Connacht. So they're the four winners of the individual titles in their provinces. They're normally the guys that will be up at the front of this race, but at this stage you could see absolutely anything happening, as these athletes over the last few weeks will have improved or
been sick over the last few weeks or maybe picked up a little injury. So lots can change from the provincial championships, and not only that, but people can run above themselves on the day. So it really is a fantastic race, and we'll see plenty of stars of the future in this one. And we will be getting our results 5 or 10 minutes after each race. So I'm sorry for the lack of knowledge here from my part on the minor boys and girls, but it is quite difficult. I haven't been in school very long, so unless there's a primary schools All Ireland, I'm unlikely to have an idea. But hopefully as time goes on in the later races, we will see a few athletes that I will recognise. So keep your tweets coming into @IrishAthletics and @JumpingTheGun. I'll try our best to have an idea as the gun goes there. These athletes will get out very, very strongly, and you can already see Lewis O'Loughlin there hitting the front with the long sleeves and the blue. So, and a lad from St. Kieran's College, Kenny, that must be Killian Rudkins heading the front as well. Jane Duffy is our first winner of the day in the minor girls race. So she was the athlete in black that won that minor girls race. It was 4 of them over the line together. So those results will be coming up on our Twitter at Irish Athletics throughout the day. So hopefully you can keep up with it on those mediums. So in second place there you've got a lad from St. Kieran's Kilkenny. I think that's is Killian Rudkins, and our man Lewis O'Loughlin, who I was talking about earlier on, seems to have slipped back already to about 8th place. But this race, 2.5k, should be out there for about 7-8 minutes for most of the field. So you'll see this race will change over time. A lot of the time at this age group, they get out very, very hard and start to struggle later on in the race. Also, big congratulations to John Travers. He's got into the final at the 1500 metres, having run a PB in the heats, and that final is at 3:30 tomorrow. And I know Danny Mooney is also competing today, so we'll see how he gets on. Both of John Travers actually 6 for Danny Mooney there in 3:48, just outside qualification. So 2 athletes, very, very strong athletes, getting involved there as well. So great to see. So this stage we've got very much an early leader here, and in a second bigger group, a lot of St. Kieran's College Kilkenny boys in this one. They've got a full team, just sort of a full team, 7 lads in this race. You'll see them in the black and white hoops. Great hurling college over the years. I know a lot of these lads will be also playing on the hurling side as well. So they'll be heavily involved. St. Aidan's another major powerhouse. You'll see them in a red and white kind of blocks across their chests. Naas CBS in black with yellow stripes. Rice College Westport in their Mayo colours as well. So throughout the race you'll spot these teams. Those guys will be actually coming around quite shortly. I'll give you the update here from our perch as I see them come around. Still the same leader. He is being tracked quite ably by Killian Rudkins from St. Kieran's College Kilkenny, but there is a gap of about 30 metres growing to that second group. Lewis O'Loughlin there moving up into about 6th place. So you'll see these athletes will over the course of this, depending on how fast they've gone out, there will be some athletes who'll start to struggle. But at the moment, our leader has been hedged back to about maybe a 3 or 4 metre lead, and I can see Lewis O'Loughlin there in 3rd place, looking like he's very much involved in this race. You'll see as well that plenty of these athletes are of different sizes, so over the course of the next few years the maturation levels will work out, and some of the smaller lads maybe at the back of the field will be at the front of the field the next few years. Massive changes to be made over the next few years, even in terms of training as well. So these athletes come back around, that you see they're going back on their short lap there. Our leader, I'll just try and get an idea who that is. As Lewis O'Loughlin goes into 2nd place there, you can see Chris O'Reilly there in 3rd place as well from Douglas Community School. So these lads getting very much involved in this race. I think that's Jake Bagg from Ardscoil Lamar Tremora, who was talking about before the race, starting off very strongly, leading this one at the moment. Lewis O'Loughlin in 2nd place, and that our 3rd place there is, I think, Cathal Corcoran from Coola Post Primary School. So at the moment, the team race seems to be being led by St. Kieran's College Kilkenny. Race College Westport struggling there just on the right-hand side of the screen. I think they've been run out of this one as the Connacht champions, but St. Kieran's always very, very strong at minor and junior levels especially. So they'll be very much involved at the closing stages. Lewis O'Loughlin there in second place is the only one that can pick out for 100% surety. He won the Leinsters at a canter, so seems to be hanging in there quite nicely. So our individual race has been pretty much decided already, unless some of these athletes struggle in the closing stages. Lewis O'Loughlin going into first place there, almost nudging I think Jake Bagg just out of the way. So as the athletes come around again, we'll get them into shot shortly. I'll just fill in on what's going on there now at the moment. Lewis O'Loughlin is still leading there. That's the athlete and taller athlete in blue is Jake Bagg, and who I believe is Cathal Corcoran is in third place at the moment. So these athletes look like they're going to be the medal men at this stage. Plenty of other athletes still streaming by there as well as we see on this live stream. St. Kieran's College Kilkenny being one of the major favourites for this team title. So just to give you an idea of the team titles, first four from your team across the line, and just like golf, it's lowest score wins. So if you've got an athlete that's 5th, 10th, that's 15 points. If he's another guy that's 15th, that's 30 points. And you've got another guy that's 30th, that's 60 points. So lowest score wins on this one. But you have normally 8 athletes on the team. I'll be popping out shortly there to watch my Belvedere College junior boys get involved, as Lewis O'Loughlin has gone back to third place. And as my phone goes off, which is extremely unprofessional, but I know who it is. It's Brendan O'Neill. So we're back. Brendan O'Neill is on the way in. He's a former Irish Schools 5,000 metre champion. As Lewis O'Loughlin tears away from this field, he was holding himself back there. The winner of the West Leinster Schools cross country, the winner of the Leinster Schools cross country, all at the canter. He's dispensed with the tracksuit at this stage for the national championships, and he is going to be more than likely crowned our All Ireland Schools minor boys champion. So that's Lewis O'Loughlin there from Mall Park College in Clondalkin. He's going to be our winner. I think he's an athlete up in Tallahassee as well, so very, very impressive win here, well ahead of the field, and very much an easy winner of this All Ireland Schools boys, minor boys cross country. And you can see, I think that's Jake Bagg coming in there from Tramore, and Cathal Corcoran, they're coming in third place. So those look to be our medalists at this stage. As you can see, plenty of the boys from St. Comas, Nuri there in white tracksuits on the screen, running
making sure that they're there to support their teammates. You can see a young gentleman from PBC coming in there across the line as well in 5th place. So plenty of athletes streaming across the line. That was definitely a very, very tough affair. 2.5k for these athletes is a little bit longer than some of them would have at their provincial level. So I can see Chris O'Reilly there in the kind of fluorescent top just going to your left of the screen as well from Douglas Community School. So he was third in the Munster schools. So St. Kieran's College Kilkenny with their first athlete in. We'll see how many of them come in now for this team title. So very, very strong effort there from St. Kieran's. We see another athlete coming in there just left the screen. They look like they're going to wrap up this school's title. Another athlete comes in from Kieran's. I think they're going to take this title down, but you never know what athletes will come in there. It's always hard to tell with these team races what the actual situation is until everything is done and dusted. So as the Clongowes boys are being let out of class now at 12:30, school is over. Saturday school is over. They're going to be out in the course supporting Jack O'Leary now later on in the senior boys race. So the winner of that one was Lewis O'Loughlin, and another Kieran's College Kilkenny lad comes over the line there. So I think we can be reasonably sure that they have won this minor boys title, but I have known to be wrong on several occasions. So you can see these athletes now will hopefully progress over the next few years and keep running at junior, intermediate and senior level. This race is probably one of the most difficult races on the calendar, as you have to get through your heats in your zone level, then you've got to get through your semi-final as your provincial level, and this is the All-Ireland Schools final, so it's always a very, very tough standard. So our next race is our junior girls race, and I can tell you that the winners of our 4 provinces were Niamh Carr from Loreto Coleraine in Loreto College Coleraine, Alana Deering from St. Mary's Nina, Aoife Morris from St. Mary's Ballistair, and Molly Brown from Castleknock Community College. And our major teams in this one are going to be Ursuline Sligo, Mount Anville from Dublin, and Ursuline Waterford. Sorry about that. And also Strathairon from Belfast. You can see Strathairon also had a team in the minor girls as well, so they're very, very strong at all levels, it appears, at the moment. So Waterford always very, very strong, especially on the track. I know the likes of Niamh Whelan, 200 metre runner, Mairead Murphy, former Irish pentathlon record holder, who went to Kansas State, went to Ursuline Waterford as well. So always very, very strong athletics tradition in that school. Not so much so on cross country, although they did have the likes of Mary O'Connor, who went to Stony Brook College she used to run the 800 and 1500. I know they won many titles over the years. Not well known for their cross country, but very, very strong school. A school that is known for its cross country is Ursuline Thurles, and they produce many, many good runners over the years, just like Ciara Cronin, who will be running in the senior girls race later on today. Leinster, you've got the 3 most common names on the team sheet here: Mount Anville, Holy Child Killiney, and Mount Sackville. Always very, very strong tradition. Welcoming Brendan O'Neill from St. Michael's College, previously of St. Michael's, then of DCU, then of Florida State.
Yeah.
To our Ireland Schools cross country. How many of these did you run?
I ran probably 3 or 4 of them. Probably junior boys, both inter races, maybe one senior race. I think I missed my last one in school, but
It's a very, very tough event.
yeah. It's great because everybody lines up for the school. There's no getting away from it.
Yeah, I mean, we had the inter clubs there. I mean, even at senior level last week, you were in that race. You were fourth, was it?
Third, yeah.
Third, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously, in the junior age groups, you'll have people running today that weren't running last week. But as you said, everyone is here at this schools race. Both people that run for clubs and in the younger age groups, very much so, people that just run for their school.
Yeah.
In terms of this one, our main guys here are Ursuline Sligo, Mount Anvil, Ursuline Waterford, and then Strahan Belfast. So they'll be our 4 teams. And then on top of that, we'll have plenty of individual athletes like Niamh Carr, Alana Deering, Aoife Morris, and Molly Brown are our 4 individual winners. So in terms of this, have you seen the course?
Yeah, I had a look around the course, and it seems like a nice, reasonably flat course, so you could get a bit of good leg turnover on it and run rather quick.
In terms of, I suppose, that you've been away and you've ran in American races, it's quite similar to a lot of American races with the flatness of the course and very much a spectator-friendly course as well.
Yeah, that's really important. I think the flatness of the course is similar in senses it's flat and it's faster. But I think you have that in Ireland. You have that kind of typically Irish kind of softness in the ground, and it makes it a little. It can be deceptively harder than it looks. So. That might be the case today, so we'll see soon enough, I suppose.
Yeah, I've been out I walked the course earlier on. There's definitely a few little kind of, I suppose, it's not as flat as your pancake flat American courses that are on almost on. As I see my team there walk across the screen, better get out to them in a minute. But yeah, it's
Belvo.
In America, you've got your nice golf courses almost, whereas this, even though it is flat, the ground is a little bit bobbly in places, but a really, really well turned out course here. And I know Clongowes Wood College has been looked at as a venue since July and of last year, and then people are very, very excited to have it here. And I know I was just out in the corridor there, and plenty of students just getting off class and all super excited to see a cross-country race in their back garden. Yeah,
well, even just driving in there today, I just remarked on the kind of buzz that was about the place. Everybody seemed to be excited, and it is a really marvellous setting. I think everybody's going to really enjoy today's racing.
And should we hold it every year here?
I don't know if that's... is it possible to do that? I don't know.
I'll have to ask Clongowes Wood, but I know in America you've probably ran in a place like Franklin Park.
Yeah, well, Terre Haute, Indiana, is where a lot of the NCAA cross country, the American Collegiate Cross Country Championships, are held most years. But I think the way it works in America is they do it in like 4 or 5 year stretches, and then it might go somewhere else for a couple of years, and then they'll come back and do it for another 5 years in the same place. But I don't think we don't do that here.
No, we don't do that here. But it could be something, I suppose, to go to fairly similar destinations or courses over a couple of years, just to see, I suppose, in terms of the speed of the course. I know in America you often see they worry about the time. It wasn't as fast as previous years. I know conditions can play a part, but you can kind of tell differences between maybe one winner and another.
Yeah, you definitely have more of a focus in America on split times in cross country and mile splits, and you'll have markers all the way along the course, which is it's good. It's good and bad. I think the cross country there should be a sense of pure competition. That should be what it primarily is about. So I personally wouldn't see a place for kind of too many of that, too many of those splits or times. But it looks like this race is turning into a little bit of a contest up front.
Yeah, these maybe 8 or 9 girls have slipped away from the field, and as you can see, this is going to be they're coming around for their second. They're starting into their second lap here, which is a larger lap, and it is already breaking in. That smaller group that's broken off at the front is broken into 2 separate groups. You can see 2 athletes in red there as well. I know that second athlete in red has a team just back the field as well. So, they're athletes here are not only running for individual titles, but you're going to have team events as well. So as I explained earlier on, it's four to count. So it's often very important to have someone in the top view in this one.
Yeah, I think all schools have place a large value on that coveted All Ireland team champion.
You would have ran
Yeah.
as an individual a lot of time in St. Michael's. All those lads would have been more rugby heads, would they? Would you ever have a team?
We did have a rather committed rugby background in our school, but we had a small group of runners in St. Michael's, and I really, it was quite often I'd run it on my own at the All Ireland schools, but we had a little bit of a group there, and there was great support in St. Michael's for running, and I believe a lot of the other Holy Ghost schools, Clongowes as well, probably has the same kind of
Clongowes
support.
is a Jesuit school now. You have to get your.
Right. Sorry, I beg your pardon.
We're Jesuits as well.
Belvedere's a Jesuit as well. That's my mistake.
But we can see that team in red there that has an athlete in the top three. They're streaming across the screen there as we see it, and they'll be heavily involved. You can see Mount Sackville there in the pink. West Leinster champions as well, so they're packing well in this race. There's plenty of them across all the races. I think they're actually in every single, they qualified in every single age group, so obviously a very, very good program there at Mount Sackville.
The distance is 2,500 meters, so it should be we should be coming close enough to the finish.
Yeah, so that when they come around shortly, they'll come around this corner and they'll be heading out to the back of the course. There's a little bit of a slight, I suppose, a mound more than a hill. It just kind of causes a little bit of a break in rhythm, but after that they're heading out to the back of the course. Not many supporters out there. In terms of the minor race, actually, around Jane Duffy, I think, is a relation of Conor Duffy, who was on the European Under-23 team there before Christmas.
Oh, out in Bulgaria, yeah, I remember.
So they're obviously a very committed athletics family there, but these are looking like our medal winners here. These 5, 1, 2, 3 over the line will be receiving medals, but these junior girls will also be going to the international schools cross country, which is held between Ireland, England, Scotland and Wales. Is often a very, very good barometer of how good these girls are. If they can beat mainly the English girls are always very, very strong.
And how many is the team?
It's 8 on the team.
The first 8, yeah. So these this looks like the medals are being decided in this bold move up front.
Yeah, and we'll just try and get an idea of exactly who that is. I think that is Aoife Morris from St. Mary's, if I can make a guess at it at this moment in time.
And there is a breeze out in that course today. It's a very wide open field, and that might be telling in the closing stages of the race.
Yeah, I mean, especially the more slight you are, the more that breeze is going to take it out of your sails.
Because it does look like the pace has been set up front by the same group of runners. So how that affects them coming into the closing stages, we'll find out. And
I know that wind is at their back there in that, I suppose, a home straight, but they do have to deal with a lot of wind before they get to that point.
Okay.
And as Brendan, even though this is your first time commentating with Jumping the Gun, I'm actually going to entrust you with the remainder of this race as I go out to.
I'll take the reins. You've got work to do.
I'm going to go and win an Irish Schools team title, if that's all right.
Belvedere cross country. Watch out for Ronan Duggan on the course as he takes his team of stars in an attempt on the Irish Schools cross country team title. So we have a fairly clear move being made here now at the front. This junior girls 2,500 meters race. And it looks like this race is finishing up. And there's our winner. Closely followed by the runner-up. And the first 8 girls cross the line, make the Irish team for the Schools International Cross Country coming up very soon. It's a really very good achievement for these girls. It's very much often a first kind of taste of international competition for athletes at this age, and has always been a good competition to introduce athletes to that international level. So spectators flocking to the finish to greet the athletes, congratulate them. It's a warm day out in Kildare today, but the breeze has picked up a little bit, and definitely makes it a little tougher. You have to keep well wrapped up out there. So this is jumping the guns commentary, isn't it? Yeah. So it's okay to reference them. So would you be busy working with the? Now we return to the start line for the beginning of the junior boys 3,500 meters race. So it looks like our runners are almost ready to set off. The stewards, starters, just doing the final checks, making sure everybody's got their toe behind the line, as all runners will be familiar with. Just relaying the final instructions before the gun goes. So you can see there the flags, the GloHealth flags behind the runners are flowing fairly strongly in the wind there, so it's not a completely still day out there. There will be tactical considerations when it comes to thinking about taking the lead. I know if I was running, I'd definitely be thinking of how to tactically use that to try and reserve energy in the beginning of the race. So we saw Sarah Healy taking the victory in the junior girls race, as you can see there on the Twitter stream. Irish School's title is a really cherished title to win. So congratulations to all the winners so far. And we await eagerly as the junior men's contest will be decided. Looks like we're almost ready to get underway. I see a GAA jersey on the right hand side of the screen, just at the starting pen. Maybe if a footballer decided to try his hand at cross country for the weekend. So here we go. On your marks. So in the team contest we have from Connacht Kildare, Valya Clar, Rice College Westport, and Summerhill College Sligo. And the qualifying teams from Leinster, St. Kieran's College Kilkenny, Coláiste Mhuire Mullingar, and Belvedere College. Oh, and we have a faller at the beginning of this race. That was rather unfortunate. At least it's the early stages, there's plenty of time to get up and make up ground. It didn't look like our father lost too much ground there. We have two early leaders taking out the pace at the start of this 3,500 meters race. And going back to our teams from Munster, we have Thurles CBS, CBC Cork, St. Flannan's of Ennis, and Ulster we have St. Colman's of Newry, St. Malachy's from Belfast, and Omagh CBS. and my co-commentator Ronan Duggan's team, Belvedere College, will be looking to make a mark on the home turf of a rival rugby school. I'm sure victory here would be all the sweeter. So this junior boys race will also be the selection trial for the international schools cross country. First 8 across the line will make that team and earn their Irish vest. So needless to say, it's going to be hot competition up front. Now here we go. There is a bold pace being set up front. One thing I remember about running in the junior age groups as a younger athlete was I always remember a relentless pace. That it was always the gun goes and you go as hard as you can until you get to the finish. And it seems to be the case very much in this race as well. We have our leaders strung out quite evenly, like an express train around the course. We still have some. There is still a reasonable amount of running to go, so a lot can change. The top 8 positions are far from decided at this stage. It really is a great spectator course. Wide open fields. Large perimeter lap of the Clongowes Wood College rugby fields. Now this is really getting into the hard part of the race. I know that taking the pace out early on can present challenges later in the race once fatigue really starts to set in, but our leader today seems to show no sign of abating. In fact, he looks like he might be pressing even a little harder to break his competition. So the leaders pass through the spectator laden part of the course here. I'm sure they're receiving a lot of encouragement, a lot of cheering and shouting from parents, coaches, school teachers alike, as these runners try and earn honours for their respective schools. And the gap is really widening now up front. This really is a relentless pace being set. And it looks like our winner could be determined well before the finish line is reached. But as they say, it's not over till it's over. There's a tactical group that seems to be packing a little bit behind behind the leader, and a lot to be decided there in terms of the silver and bronze. So the leaders are passing through a quieter part of the course now. This is really the part where, when you're out on your own, you really start to see it's yourself and your thoughts. And you got to beat those negative thoughts right out of your head. And keep driving for the finish. You see spectators running from one side of the course to the other, eager not to miss any of the action today. So 3,500 meters of running, which equates to just over 2 miles for those of you listening who rather talk in terms of miles. It really is a nice distance. It's one of my favorite distances. 2 miles or just around 2 miles, because you can really set a nice pace and try and hold on to it until the finish. It's just that perfect distance. So our leader passes the start where they started the race and is really looking in control. Good form, good posture. Looking strong. And it does not appear that this athlete is going to be challenged today. Powerfully striding down past the tennis courts to the applause of the impressed spectators. And this is the stage of the race that when you're leading like that, you do not look behind you, you keep going. You keep asserting your power at the front of the race. And here we have our silver and bronze medal contenders rounding the corner. And this is where things will get interesting. And this is the hardest part now. The hardest part of the race for a lot of athletes is some runners may have committed to the quick pace at the beginning and will now be struggling to maintain that pace. And this is where the runners have to be mentally tough. Hold on to their rhythm and make it around to the finish. But our winner today looks like it is going to be this man here. And we have our winner. Spectators line the finish to greet him home. A very impressive, hard-earned victory. A great display of front running, and our silver medalist has just powered through the line. And our bronze medalist has just come home too, and the top 8 across the line will qualify for the Irish schools team to represent Ireland at the international schools cross country in the coming weeks. Congratulations to all those athletes. And I am sure a lot of these finishers are glad to see the finish line as they come down this finishing straight. It's a grueling contest cross country is at the schools level. And it often provides the best foundation for track running in the spring or in the summer, as a lot of these athletes will go on to run and target the Irish schools track and field championships in June of this year. Runners are still crossing the line in this junior boys race. I'm sure they'll be looking to get a good piece of cake into them and get the sugar levels back up after a hard-earned finish. Really is a great day out at the Irish Schools Cross Country Championships. Lots of families making the journey here today to Clongowes Wood College in County Kildare. And it really does contribute to a great atmosphere on the day. I have very fond memories of my school days racing in the vest of St. Michael's College, making the trips out to the various cross-country courses around the country. It really is a great event to inspire the next generation of athletes, next generation of Irish international champions, competitors, Olympians. So the Irish school system has provided an outlet for some of our greatest athletes down through the years. I'm sure we talk to athletes like Sonia O'Sullivan, I'm sure they will talk quite proudly of their school's days and how it helped them in their future illustrious careers. And we have the medal winners being presented right now in the nice setting of the Clongowes Wood College rugby grounds. So full credit must go to Clongowes Wood College for hosting today's event. Well marked out course. Nice spectator friendly approach. And I'm sure a lot of today's athletes will go home with fond memories of competing today in the Irish Schools Championships 2015. Dougie,
Yes,
back in the building.
momentous occasion there where we've got very much involved as this university's women starts off here now. Plenty of universities involved in this one. You've got, I can see UCD there in the yellow. You've got UCC Cork there, UCC Cork as opposed to UCC College Caribou, which is in Kamloops in Canada. Didn't know if you knew that. And then you also have CIT there in the red and white as laughter from Mark there. AIT in the blue and green and white stripes. You've won this title before, have you?
Yeah, I won it 2009. I think it was the first time I won it up in a rainy University of Ulster in Jordanstown.
Jordanstown, yeah.
Yeah, it was a rough day, but it was nice to win.
That was a course that you had. The back end of the course was pretty much all hill, and then the other end of the course was all muck, and there was no running in it whatsoever.
Yeah, sure. Anybody who knows me knows I like the odd hill or two.
And the old, well-known, if you know the Porterhouse North in Dublin city centre by Jim Cronje, you'll know that Brendan O'Neill's famous Porterhouse Loop, where he runs at maybe 450 miling for 10 miles.
Yeah, maybe 11 or 12. On a good day. Get a coffee into me beforehand, and
These, you've got to be a brave man to venture out with Brendan on the Porterhouse Loop, but many have tried. And
many have failed. You'll find the skeletons in the bushes on the way up Movie Road.
But in this one, you can already see. I think that's Ellie Hartnett there in third place with the long blonde hair. UCD featuring heavily in this one. You'll see them in the yellow with kind of a blue insignia on it. They're normally very, very strong. DCU as well, or alma mater, in the white vests. So they've won this title for many years. UCD coming back to prominence now in the last few years with Kieran McGean and those types, but could be a great race here. Yeah,
and we can see about, is there 20 or 30 athletes maybe in that kind of lead bunch, and then there's a little bit of a gap forming. So there's a bit of bunching up there. It's a lot of running left to do, obviously. But
5,000 metres, so they're looking at was it 2 small laps and 2 big laps? Is it? I'll just check our start list here, but it's quite a distance. 5,000 metres for some of these girls is going to be quite easy, but at university level you can get conned into coming down to this race and go back for 5,000
metres.
It's
like, sure, there's a night out in it for you. You'll come down and run a race here. You get a free meal or whatever. But
they're doing 3 big laps, just to confirm that 3 big laps.
Well, it's these team titles at university level. I mean, there's quite a rivalry amongst some of the colleges. There's serious bragging rights to be gotten over the next 10 minutes or 10 or 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, I know. Back in our time, DCU had won pretty much every title going, men and women's, for about 4 or 5 years running. But in recent times, UCD in the cross country, both men and women, and then also on the road, then like AIT getting involved heavily in the road relays out in Maynooth, which, if you haven't been to, is a fantastic event out there in the college on the grounds.
It's a very underrated event, I think. Every November you go out there. It's in the middle of the cross country season, building up to the club cross country championships in November, and a lot of athletes find it's a great event just to get a bit of pop in the legs, come down in distance a little bit, and
you can see here the UCD athletes here in front at the moment, featuring strongly UCC there in the UCC Pirates there in the red. So all these teams normally have some great nicknames as well. UCD Bears, I believe.
UCD Bears. I know the UL or the UL Wolves. They like to call themselves.
WIT Ducks.
The Ducks.
DCU Dragons.
Well, we won't forget the DCU Dragons.
Yeah, you had a great line of DCU Dragons hats there at one point, didn't you?
Yeah. They sold like hotcakes, and it was very much a case of limited edition stock. So
I think this is Ellie Hartnett still leading this one at the front. We don't actually have a start list here, but I can see Ellie Hartnett there, and I can see Mary Sullivan just at the back of your picture there in the white and blue. She's a former InterVarsity 800 meter champion indoors and a very good cross country runner. So these girls, this will change a lot over the next few laps, but that is Ellie Hartnett leading at the moment.
And Maria O'Sullivan coming through and making a rather bold move.
Yeah, Maria
from
Sullivan,
DCU.
I believe won the InterVarsity 3,000 meter title, and Rahini Shamrock athlete, very, very strong cross country runner, transferred to DCU from Trinity there in the last year. So a lot of these athletes would know each other quite well from the last few years of racing. Yeah,
you move up through the school system, and when you go on to run at collegiate level, there's very much a kind of a tight knit community there with all the runners.
And I know Maria Sullivan, when she was with Trinity, was out training with DCU, so it's much less. Even though there is a lot of rivalries on race day, there's not a huge rivalry on outside of that, because a lot of these athletes are putting the same work in, and there's kind of I suppose a recognition between each other of that work.
Well, you've got a lot of athletes in different universities that all could compete for the same club. So it's they might train more with their club, they might train more with the university. It's really a mixed bag. So,
and you can see Maria Sullivan here is really taking a chunk out of this field. She's put maybe 10-15 meters into the rest of the field here, and I can see the UCC athlete there in second place and Ellie Harton in third place. So they're trying to hang on gamely, but this is the part of the wind at their back. So if Maria Sullivan can get away here, she'll be away on this on the back end of the course where the wind is in front of them.
Yeah, I think she's doing the right thing, because you don't, like, when you're making a move, I think you want to make it and go 100% and try and drill it home, like, because at the end of the day, if you make a break and it's only you're only half serious about it, you're just kind of breaking the wind for a lot of people,
Yeah, exactly. And we've seen that plenty of times. I know we discussed that regularly on the podcast, is people not really kind of being definitive in their moves, and even if it doesn't work out, at least you've gone for it and tried to break away, just like Maria O'Sullivan has here, and she's really put the boot down and gone away from the field. You can see these athletes here just behind, being led by Ellie Hartnett here, and yes, they're working together, and they're hoping that Maria O'Sullivan will come back towards them, but they're not really hugely making an effort to get back up towards her at the moment. Nobody really went with her. Yeah.
Her move is working in that sense, so I'm sure she's happy about that. Bit of time left in the race, though.
No, it's over, Brendan.
It's over? Yeah. Are we coming to...
just cut it off.
6 minutes.
Else on? No?
That's a world record for the 5,000 metres, Ronan.
No, I have to say, Maria Sullivan is definitely the class of this field, and she's putting a huge breakaway, but you are right, there's plenty of running left.
Well, it's been strung out a fair bit as well. We've got, after the second group there's another group, and then it's quite strung out.
See Marianne Sullivan there from DCU is in second place, so DCU 1 and DCU 2, so they're looking pretty good for the team title.
The low sticks, as you'd say, Ronan.
The low sticks, yeah. We were missing a low stick there for Belvedere. That might catch us in that junior boys race, but I feel like I've ran the full 2.5K. I didn't do my morning run this morning because I knew... You knew
you'd be getting a workout in this afternoon. You needed to be fresh.
Exactly, yeah. Fresh to go out, and
that's commitment now in terms of coaching. If you've ever seen it.
Yeah, disregarding my own training so I can run after. But Maria Sullivan here with the blue headband in the kind of navy blue of DCU. That's an old style DCU top that she's got on there.
Well, I know they've tried to recreate that iconic singlet of 2006.
That's when you first started in DCU, was it?
I know, I was the white Puma singlets when I started in 2007. They've gone back now to the navy, and I think it's a bold colour. It looks good.
If it's dark as well, you could kind of sneak a win in the race.
Yeah.
Road relays later on.
Yeah, exactly. There's a multi-purpose vest right there.
But Maria is still leading this one. Just off screen there, we'll stand up here at Clongowes Wood College, and we'll take a look. And Maria is certainly working away from this field here, as you've got people warming up as well for the intermediate boys race. And I know the intermediate girls will be getting onto the line now soon enough as well after this race. So Maria is still leading this one quite well as she comes back around the other end of the course. Looking very, very good from this angle anyway, and has about maybe 60 metres on the girls behind. As Brendan doesn't know what's going on, he doesn't know where I'm looking here. I'm looking over here, Brendan.
Oh, yeah. You're getting lost in this massive building in Clongowes Wood College you're in.
Yeah, so I tried to find the letterist earlier on and got very, very lost.
A little bit of a maze.
But lovely, lovely spot and a really, really good venue for this race. But Maria O'Sullivan well out in front here. Marianne O'Sullivan from DCU trying to bridge that gap. She's broken away from that second group there. But this is definitely a strung out race, and it'll be hard to see who's actually going to win this team title in this one. I think it's still the sixth to score in the women's, just like the men's.
Okay.
I believe it could be fourth score, but I know the men's is sixth to score, unlike the.
Well, I think the sixth to score makes it a lot more interesting. It's like you're really kind of bringing more members of the team into the equation, and it really throws the team title up for grabs. In more ways than you'd think.
Yes, definitely, and I think DCU definitely have a stranglehold in this one because at the moment they have 3 points from what we can judge here, first and second. So, as I explained earlier on, it's like golf. The lowest score wins. So, Maria Sullivan is looking very, very good here, and she's got about maybe 6 or 7 minutes of running left, and really working away from this field, powering up that small little bit of a hill there. I know it's affecting the rhythm somewhat, just momentarily, but out in the back, of course, is John May, their bald head of John May there on screen, Knockbeg College. They'll be going for the intermediate title, and I know they've got one individual in the seniors who's looking very, very good as well. So perennial powerhouses on the schools. So this is the universities, though. Different story
altogether. And what do you think, Ronan, of recently the school or the universities races used to be after the schools program?
Yeah. So they put the women's race now in the middle of the program, which is a great decision, because I'm sure you know Brendan from your win in Jordanstown. Was there anyone there to see it? Well, it does.
The crowds definitely tend to filter away from the venue after the schools races finish, and because that's the big that's what brings the big crowd at the end of the day.
If Brendan O'Neill is there to win a university's title, but no one's there to see it, does he win a university's title?
I know. Well, that's the question. That's what has to be.
So they rectified that now by putting the women's race in the middle.
I think it's a great decision. It's amazing what a small little change like this can do to an event, and ignite interest in the universities running, because at the end of the day, a lot of these schools' athletes are going to be going to university. So I think they should be able to see the universities races, kind of look up to those athletes and say, okay, I see this is what I'm going to be doing in a few years' time, and get familiar with it,
Yeah, because I think a lot of the time the club athletes really come through and will continue to run after school. But if you've got school-based athletes, like I would tend to be dealing with, they don't really have an idea of athletics the way we would have been brought up with, and they have no idea that you can actually keep running in university. That's interesting. I didn't know that the only reason that my fellas run in school is because we go around forcing them to run. So now they've realised that life does go on after school, which is good for them, because we need more and more people running at age 21, 22 in order to improve the state of running in the country. Yeah, you definitely do have a fall off after secondary school. Like you're saying, you've got guys like Ronan Duggan around the school hallways. That's true, yeah. Recruiting members for cross-country teams, but it's just a bit different when you go to university. There's a lot of happening. Your training group might get broken up and you go to different universities, so it's a new setting, and it's nice to know that there are teams out there like that take it seriously, and it is cross-country running at the university level is a serious pursuit as well. So definitely, and we can actually see Mariana Sullivan is coming back into the headband just went. The headband just went there on Maria Sullivan. Yeah, she must be getting warmed up as it were. But Mariana Sullivan is definitely closing that gap. It's going to be a very interesting finish. Marianne does have a bit of track speed in the legs, all right, I think. So it's going to be confusing here for us commentators. Marianne O'Sullivan, Maria O'Sullivan, and Marianne O'Sullivan. So Maria is the one leading at the moment. She's taking that corner. That corner is very, very tight, and we saw in the first race, the minor girls race, that we had a faller very, very early on. So at the very start of the races, it can be quite difficult. At the moment, it's just tiredness that's going to hold people back. You can see Ellie Hartnett there in 5th place. We've got an athlete from UCC in 4th, and an athlete from UCC in 6th, and athletes from UCC again in 9th and 10th. So they're actually looking very, very strong for this team title. That's 4 of them in the top 10. Donny's Diamonds, Donny Walsh? Donny Walsh. Wow, yeah. He's coaching the UCC Athletics Club down there, so they've actually made a return, I suppose, in recent years. They would have been very weak when we were in university. Yeah. I think DCU themselves, we were quite the powerhouse at the time, and it's great to see, and actually looking at these races and going, who is going to win? We don't know. Whereas for years you had Fanula Britton, you had Hazel Murphy, you had Linda Byrne in that DCU team. They were very, very strong, and Ciara Durkin as well, so almost unbeatable. Whereas now it's actually a really, really good team battle, because we've absolutely no idea who's going to win. It's wide open every year now. It comes down to the last kilometre of the race, and we are in that last kilometre. And if we can just see, just off screen there, Maria O'Sullivan and Mariana Sullivan are still battling it out. And I'll take a quick look up here to see how that is in fact turning out. But at the moment, can't get a quick look on them there. At the moment I can't see them, but at last time we saw, Maria O'Sullivan was still leading, but Marianne was definitely starting to eat away at that lead. Yeah, and it is a risk you take when you do make those moves early in the race. It's but at the same time, I think Maria made the right decision. I think she made a bold move, and we'll find out soon enough
whether it will pay off for the win, but
Yeah, she's still in the lead here, about 30 metres.
she definitely made the race interesting, and I think that's really important as well.
And would you maybe relate this to the time that our own Jumping the Gun member, Cathal Dennehy, beat you in All-Ireland clubs cross country after you took the lead early on?
I'll never forget that day for as long as I live. I remember
the shame of being beaten by Cathal Dennehy.
Cathal Dennehy. I just remember he wrote a great article about it after. So
yeah, so your loss is immortalised. And English teachers out there, if you'd like to get your students an A, just make sure they all rewrite that essay in the Leaving Cert, as many have done in the past. As you see, Maria O'Sullivan here still leading this one.
Oh, and Marianne is closing fast.
As they come into shot there now very, very shortly.
There's
Maria
not
O'Sullivan
too
still leading this one.
Not too much longer to go in this race, so
they're coming into the last maybe 800 metres, 600 metres to go maybe. They'll be coming over this slight little bit of a bobble of a hill up here, and Marianne is definitely closing on Maria. I wonder, does Maria know?
So we're looking at, if we're looking at two athletes here, Maria's made the move. She's made the bold bid for the victory. She's been breaking the wind on herself up front for the last couple of kilometres. Marianne has got momentum. She is closing faster and faster.
And it really will take a lot of, I suppose, mental strength here from Maria when Marianne comes up on her shoulder, that she doesn't panic and we'll see how that one actually turns out in the last few metres. But Marianne every stride is closing that gap. This is a great race.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if Maria really knows if her contender is so close, but I think she's just really trying to hold on right to the line. She's not letting up.
You can see, even though at the corners there, Maria is struggling majorly. She's starting to slip a little bit as she goes around the corner, whereas Marianne then is starting to power towards her. We've just lost that shot there. I was to see the athlete from WIT coming around that corner there in third place, UCC in fourth, so UCC in fifth again, Ellie Hartland in sixth, and we should see two more UCC athletes come around the corner quite shortly, which is really good in terms of their team prospects. This could be, will they come out a shot here? We've had our eyes closed for the last.
We're on the edge of our seats here, waiting to see who is in the. And it's Marianne
has come out of the woodwork here, and she's moved away. So Maria has obviously ran out of steam in this one, and Marianne, as you said, the woman with the momentum, she's powering away in this field and looks to be like she's going to win by quite some distance. Great tactical run.
Very tactically aware. Very smart, because Maria got away quite a bit earlier on in this race, and it is hard to claim back that kind of gap, So full credit to Marianne. This is a really remarkable run.
And what you I suppose maybe 1,200 meters is when Maria made her break. Should she have maybe left it until maybe even 3K to go, with 2 miles left, and into a 10-minute spell, whereas she really had to put in nearly 14 minutes.
It looks like, it's hindsight is 20/20, as the saying goes, but Maria at the time, I think, wanted to break up the field, and she probably could have done that with maybe less of a spurt, and got it down to 3, and then maybe made another bid later on. But nonetheless, full credit to Maria as well, because she made the race, she broke it wide open, and made it interesting for the spectators. So.
Oh, definitely. As I say in Without Limits, to paraphrase, one woman made the race and another one won it. And the woman that won it was Marianne O'Sullivan. So DCU 1 and 2, UCC coming in there in 4th place and 5th place, Ellie Hartland in 6th. So in terms of the team title, it looks like it's going to be UCC's from our last look at the field. But really, really impressive running from both athletes there, Maria O'Sullivan and Marianne O'Sullivan. To make that break, it takes serious commitment and serious mental attitude to actually go, I'm going to try and win this from nearly 4 kilometres out. But it also takes great, patience and awareness of your own ability in Marianne O'Sullivan to slowly bridge that gap. And she knew she had to make that effort maybe with 3K to go to bridge that gap and come up to Maria O'Sullivan. Yeah,
it's like I said, it's not easy. No matter what way you spin it, when you got a gap that big to close. So she definitely showed some real form there in making up that gap.
Just looking at the team there, we've got 2 more UCC athletes that come in there, so I would reckon, just based off pure terrible mathematics, I am a PE teacher after all, I reckon UCC have got the team title there. If it's 4 to score, if it's 6 to score, it could be a altogether different story. But certainly 2 very, very good runs there from our DCU athletes. But we're lacking now after that in terms of our 3rd and 4th placers in DCU.
There's going to be nervous heads at this finish line, nervous coaches, nervous athletes, because everybody knows what's online when it comes to what's on the line when it comes to the university's team title. Bragging rights.
Big time, and I know
you never live this down for a full year.
You'll have I think it was the Greyhounds were the cross country trophy.
The Greyhounds, yeah, and I think it was there 2 separate pieces to it or something? And
yes, I believe so. I think we had that in our kitchen table in DCU for quite some time, using it as a doorstop. Were you?
No, I wasn't. I always took. Well, I mean, I don't know what you guys got up to with the team trophy, but I know that my team trophy would always be polished and neatly stashed on the mantelpiece. You know, the utmost of respect for trophies.
Oh, me too. I believe the cross country one was 3 Greyhounds, bronze Greyhounds, very, very expensive trophies. A lot of these university trophies, but they go back, nearly probably 100 years back to when Trinity were the.
And are the original trophies?
They are. Most of them are. Yeah, there's a few of them aren't, but the Greyhounds are certainly the original.
That's
trophies.
Amazing when you think about it.
Yeah, they're extremely heavy as well, and you consider that the vast majority of the time these are given out at a banquet where beverages are served and none of them have been dropped.
Alcoholic beverages as well. I think.
It's very, very impressive. But enough of that. We will have the intermediate girls come up very, very shortly, and I will say that I reckon Cueva Harrington is going to win this one.
Girls, this has been billed as one of the big races.
It has. It's also the trial for the international schools, as we mentioned earlier on. But it really is going to be a fantastic race. Cueva Harrington I don't think she's lost an All-Ireland club title in about 4 years, so she is definitely one of the favourites for this race. She won the Munster Schools. Outside of that, you're looking really, I suppose, at the likes of Aoife O'Brien, Niamh Carter from Clongowes Ishgan, who obviously had a teammate of yours. Sheafa Clearly Butner won 6 schools titles in a row from Clongowes Ishgan, so she's got great people to follow there. Stephanie Cotter from Coachford College has been chasing after Cueva Harrington for quite some time down below in the Munster provincial races. And then you also have the elusive Northern Powers, Adele Monaghan, Emma Hutchison and Emily McGill from Enniskillen, Ballyclare High and Abbey Vocational School in Donegal as well. So really, really, I suppose, positive race here. Cueva Harrington, quite like our race winner, or our race second place there, Maria Sullivan. Cueva Harrington is probably going to try and lead this one from the front, and we could see a similar type race where people are trying to close her in the closing stages.
And what do you think is the best way to run? Like, you've been out on the course now for a while today. What do you think is the best way to run this race given the conditions?
I think you've got to take it quite. It's difficult to know. It is windy out there, so you don't want to go hard. But at the same time, there's lots and lots of little corners, and it's kind of a stop-start race. So if you did get ahead, it's very, very hard to actually claw that gap in, especially in the kind of early parts of the course. So I think with all these, especially at these age groups, and as they get older, they learn a bit more about pace management. So we see tactics start to come into play as time goes on. But I think if you can get a lead here, especially going into the latter part of the course where the wind is on your back, I think it's very, very difficult to get by in the closing stages. Like
I was just saying on the commentary earlier, with the junior races, like I always remembered the junior races as being just flat out, you know, like even inter, like you just go for it and like you hang on, and that was always the best way to run it. And it seemed like that was the way some of the junior races were being run as well.
Yeah, there's always
today.
Like the club athletes tend to take hold later on, and you get a bit more experience, and you kind of rely to your rivals there and so on and so forth. Whereas at junior level, you haven't got a clue. Most of these athletes, you know, might have ran a race before this year even. So they're learning all the time, and when they get out there, pace management is always an issue. I had to really be very straightforward. My advice to one of our athletes before the race, and it was relax in the opening stages, because he ran very well at Leinster and West Leinster level, but obviously at the All-Ireland level, it's a far bigger race, and the talent level is even higher again. It's a real distillation of talent at this level, so it's going to be fast from the start. So if you get out early on and you're not at that level, you will die off throughout the race. But I think it depends on what you're going for. If you're going for the win, it's got to be pretty hard from the front.
And it's a really great, like the great thing about the schools is that, you know, like at the younger age groups, you've got athletes that wouldn't be in clubs yet, that don't necessarily, they might not even know that they have a talent, and they get their schools come together and they get them out today for the team, and next thing you know, they win a team medal, or they win, maybe they're up there individually, and next thing that could be one of our next big stars.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we've had plenty of people throughout the years start off in schools and then basically within 2 or 3 years be very, very good club athletes on the club scene. So I think it really is the lifeblood of the sport, is these schools competitions, and they are normally one of the most enjoyable races on the calendar, especially the outdoor track and field, which is held at the end of May. It's always a great race, always very sunny down there as well. So something to look forward to later on in the calendar. But today, intermediate girls, our main teams this one are Presentation at Roy from Connacht, Dominican College Wicklow from Leinster, Presentation Thurles from Munster, and Sacred Heart Oma from Ulster. So they're the 4 main teams, and I see names like Avril Deegan down there from she's from Abbey Leaks, I believe, but she's running in the Presentation Thurles colours today. And I see the likes of Attenry there actually have 2 teams. They went first and second in Connacht, so it's not often you see that. So they'll have plenty of athletes out here today, and obviously will feature pretty heavily in the team race with 2 teams involved. So obviously a very good program going out there if they can manage to get 2 teams in over the line today. So at the moment, that looks to be, if you're looking for Caoimhe Harrington, she's going to be in a Closta Pubble Bantry outfit. So that was the blue of our last race winner there as well in the junior race. So our junior race winner was, in fact, if I can find it there, which I cannot, our junior race winner was Dara McElhenney from Closta Pubble Bantry. So he wore kind of a light blue singlet, and you can see that's already to the fore of this field with Caoimhe Harrington. So I know they're involved in the West Munster Club down there with Colette O'Riordan, I believe is her second name, but they've very, very strong middle distance and long distance teams over the last few years. So I know she's from Bantry originally as well, but very, very strong running out in West Cork at the moment.
You're a proud West Cork
man myself.
Sitting here today.
Well, if we can get two in a row here for Closta Pubble Bantry, that's incredible stuff. And 2 different families as well. You often get the same family winning titles, but it's rare to have 2 from the same school that are not related going out and winning 2 team titles.
That might be something to celebrate.
I hope they will. Yeah. I know our title, our bronze medal in the Leinster team for our junior team was probably not as it was still celebrated in the school and people were mentioning it, but we also are involved heavily in the Rugby Cup at the moment, Leinster Senior Cup and Leinster Junior Cup. So it's hard when other things going on in the school. Athletics often gets pushed to the side, but in all schools. But it's definitely, if you come to a day like today, it's hard not to think that Irish athletics is in great nick. As you see Brendan O'Shea there on the left hand side of the screen, a 148 man from Wexford, and then Noel Guyden, whose son Ian Guyden ran for St Aidan's in this race over many, many years, and has actually won an Ireland Schools 5k title, which you have won as well.
Irish Schools 5k, yeah, that's
track, yeah.
It's a long way around when you're in secondary school, but it's a great distance, the all 5k. And we have a fierce pace being set up front here, and a lot of athletes following, jumping right in. And you're running by the spectator crowded part of the course now, and you can tell that these athletes are being willed on immensely by onlookers, and it can be a very emotionally charged race to schools, and you've got coaches, teammates, schoolmates cheering you on. You can really, really get into it. So we have 2 leaders breaking the pace for the lead group. And we saw in the universities race the crowd, the leading pack bunch up like this, and a very, very bold tactical move made by Maria O'Sullivan to move the race on. And like we were saying, we probably won't see as much of that in the younger age groups, but we never know. That's the beauty of watching a race. You don't know, is somebody tucking in there and feeling good and just waiting to get around the corner and take off. And we do have some sharp turns to negotiate. As you can see, the course is marked pretty firmly around the boundaries of the rugby pitch itself, so some sharp corners to negotiate. And when you're tired and you're trying to find your quickest way around the corner, you can often find yourself running right into the corner pole.
Yeah, it's quite. You've seen that happen now a few times. Even Maria Sullivan, that last race, you could really see she was struggling when she was trying to take the corners and slipping and sliding a little bit. But these athletes be used to that with a lot of these courses being very, very similar. But that's Caoimhe Harrington out there in the blue, in the front of Closh Powell Bantry, and she's probably beaten a few of these athletes before in the past. I think that's Avril Deegan there in second place, in the colours of presentation Thurles. So they're probably the two classiest athletes in this field at the moment. But Caoimhe Harrington, I mean, she's won the last 4 Ireland clubs titles, but I mean, most of these things, eventually, with the exception of Siofra Cleary Butner, these things can be a burden as well.
Yeah, it's you never know. Like this race seems to be progressing in terms of finding out who the medalists are going to be.
Yeah, so on the left there you can see that's Avril Deegan there in the red, and just on her right then is Caoimhe Harrington. So it's still plenty involved in this race. I mean, there's 6 or 7 girls there in that front group, so there's still medalists outside of that top 3 as well. That could
oh yeah, all the way. You're going all the way back to probably the 8th or 9th there, and talking in terms of the Irish schools cross country team, the top 8. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 just about in that group, and we might see the 9th fall off very soon, and we might have our top 8 kind of relatively carved out for that Irish schools team.
I was just trying to see there. There's usually a fairly good level of athletes from Holyflight Clontarf here, but I can't see anyone. I thought that girl in the green just in shot a second ago was a Holyflight Clontarf girl. It's normally they produce many athletes. Enna Fitzpatrick used to teach there as well in the past. He's the DCU Academy Director, so he'll be keeping a close eye and see if any of those girls turn up throughout the day. But at the moment, still Caoimhe Harrington in the lead with Avril Deegan just on her shoulder. So you see there, it's turned into a much, much bigger group. Those girls tried to get away over that last lap, but as we saw in the last race, there's plenty of people that can move up throughout the field. But we have about 6 athletes here still in contention for this title.
And this is the part of the course that's a little quieter. It's not filled with spectators, so you get around to these parts of the course, and it's you and your breathing and the breathing of just the other 4 or 5 athletes around you, and that's all you hear. And that's when you can get into some different mental territory on this side of the course. Yeah,
I mean, I know everyone kind of runs quite well in the crowd, and you always get a massive uplift in your own, I suppose, confidence when you've got people shouting for you. But there is always that part of the course that spectators have decided not to fill, and yeah, all you can hear is you can always hear the
things you don't want to hear.
Yes, that's your own thoughts normally. So you can, that's where you start to doubt yourself and go, oh, am I struggling here? That girl doesn't seem to be breathing that much, or she's taking the lead here, and you can't hear people shouting for you. Whereas I think when you're in the funnel of spectators, you kind of can't really even think.
The secret is you just got to think of donuts.
Donuts
when you're on that side of the course. Think about it, there's a donut waiting for you at the finish line, and you run pretty quick then.
Is this the Brendan O'Neill special?
I haven't tried it out yet. It's something I want to do though.
Well, as a European gold medalist, was it something that maybe going forward that you might use or maybe suggest across the board that our Irish athletics use, the donut technique?
The donut technique. Well, I mean, like I think I'm thinking of publishing it in a research paper in the next as a project. We're going to do a bit of research, maybe team up with a PhD student.
Here's Caoimhe Harrington here now. She's not thinking of donuts. She's thinking of that next round medal that's going to be in the finish line, and she has plenty of them. She's going to have to build an extension on her house with the amount of medals that she's selected lately. But there's still a group of about 4 athletes there just behind her. I can see Avril Deegan there in the red, starting to drop off that group slightly, but she's just kind of struggling with the corners, being a taller athlete. But definitely these 4 girls almost ganging up on Caoimhe Harrington here. They're going to try and pick her off in this last part of the course.
Yeah, she's made a move now, and she's trying to make that decisive break. You can tell from the gap that she's formed that she's pushing hard for it now, and you can see in second and third there's bold bids being made to catch back up with her. So these medals are definitely up for grabs.
And I mean, with this kind of situation, as we saw in the last race, it's always easier to come from behind and start to work your way through the field. Like Caoimhe Harrington here has made the gap, and she's got away in the lead, but she can't see anyone else. She can't be motivated by what everyone else is doing, whereas everyone else behind her can see her and use her as a target to actually work towards. You can see I'll let you hop up and give us an idea of what's happening here in this last part before we get back on screen.
We're getting into the business end of this race. And Caoimhe Harrington is increasing her lead by 30 metres. Avril Deegan has fallen off the pace, reportedly. And here we go. The stride is opening up. The style has been switched on. It looks like we have our winner, Mr. Duggan.
Yes, and as she'll be well used to how this post-race celebration goes. She's won a minor title, she's won a junior title, and now in her first year of intermediate, she's gone off and she's won the intermediate title. And
she's looking strong. Her form shows no sign of abating, and she's powering down this finishing side of the course.
Yeah, there's only about maybe 30-40 metres left in this, and plenty of supporters out there, but she's looked really, really good throughout and made slight breaks earlier on, but definitely over the last maybe 600 metres has broke away from that field and shown how strong she is.
Smooth, powerful, bold, decisive. I don't know about you, but I think they're the words I'd choose to describe that.
Oh, without a doubt.
That run by Caoimhe Harrington.
Very, very assured run from her there. She had no issues on that one. She maybe, as a former winner, would have the confidence to be in that group and not be too worried, whereas I think even if you look back at that last race, Maria O'Sullivan, even though she made the break, she wanted to get away from those athletes, whereas I think Caoimhe Harrington herself there knew, I can win this from the front, or I can win this by waiting and seeing and going maybe hard from maybe 800 out. So she still made it fast from the start, but she really made a decisive move with 800 out.
Yeah, and she was in control. She ran very smart. She didn't try and do anything too quickly or too soon. She bided her time, and she was able to power home in the last half lap, and that's really where a lot of races are won and lost.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's going to be in contention until maybe that last kilometre or so, maybe of the top athletes, maybe 10 or so. But that last kilometre, it depends on how you get there as well. If you get there and you're struggling with a kilometre to go, or in Caoimhe Harrington's case, she felt in control and ready to go, even with that last kilometre left, she would have been, fairly aware of what she was doing and able to make that break. Whereas if you get to the kilometre to go and you're out on your feet already, then you're really, and you saw that with Avril Deegan there, she stayed with the group all the way, but in that last kilometre she started to drop off. But that's just, in this case, not being strong enough yet. But she's definitely an athlete for the future, as are a lot of these athletes.
Absolutely, and I mean, like at the intermediate level, there's so much time to improve and to learn for the senior races and the universities level of competition. And I think that's what's great about this competition. It's just it's an outlet for trying out those tactics and getting stuck in and it's being fearless, and you come out of it and say, you know what, I learned something at the end of the day.
Definitely, and I've just got some, I suppose, incredibly disappointing news for myself. fourth. We were fourth in the junior boys race by
no.
6 points. So devastating stuff from myself, but it's fantastic run from the lads. I mean, they were third in Leinster, now fourth in the All-Ireland, and I mean, a year ago they only finished third in the West Leinsters in the zone, so they've come very, very far from in the last year. St. Coleman's Newry, winners of the Ulster title, they've gone off and won the All-Ireland title here. Always a regular feature, St. Coleman's Newry, so very, very strong running from them. I'm going to make a guess at this and say that Clongowes or St. Kieran's Kilkenny or St. Flannan's were the other major competitors in that race.
Oh, fourth place in Leinster, third place third place in Leinster, fourth place in the All Irelands. I mean, it's not a bad performance.
No, very, very good. And a lot of these lads have only started running lately. They're only schools athletes. We only have one club athlete on the team, so plenty to work with. I'll be back, as Arnie said.
Belvedere College cross country, one to watch.
Yes, and believe we got t-shirts the other day supplied by none other than yourself.
Yeah. Belvedere College XC, bold design.
Yeah, so if you're looking for any stuff, just as a site, customking.ie or is it .com?
It's .ie right now. So feel free to check it out.
And we're also sponsored today. The whole thing is sponsored by GloHealth, who've been doing some great stuff lately. It's sponsoring a lot of our events. So thanks very much to GloHealth, and also thanks to the Irish Schools Association who are running this event today and always ran very, very well. Everything on time, everything accounted for as only school teachers can.
That's what it's all down to.
Yeah, just get a load of PE teachers. We'll sort it out. Don't worry. We're actually more important than doctors as well. I don't know if I ever told you that, Brendan.
And is this you telling me this,
I'm
or is this
this is a genuine fact. Made up by myself.
Okay.
Well, like doctors, they solve the problem now. They cure the problem now. I can prevent it.
You can, yeah.
I can prevent a lot of problems. Heart disease,
Yeah, the list is endless, really.
Yeah. So like, I'm the prevention. Doctors are the cure, but they get paid a lot more than I do. Strangely.
Well, this is a case you have to put to the powers that be, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to get on it as soon as I can. I think we're going to have fairly soon one of the most exciting races of the day. That is the intermediate boys cross country. So in this one, I wrote a little article on jumpingthegun.com last night. Incredible team competition in this one. It's going to be incredibly close. St. Flannan's of Ennis, winners of the Munster schools, they had 4 in the top 11. St. Michael's in Enniskillen won the Ulster title and won this as juniors 2 years ago. So they have very, very strong form this event. Clongowes and Mullingar were the surprise winners of the Leinster title. I was talking to their coach Joe Ryan earlier on, and he was saying that they are quite strong, but they did not expect to win the Leinster title. St. Aidan's, who have a bit of a dream team there, were actually second to them in Knockbeg College with John May at the helm, and they were third in the Leinster. So they're all very, very strong. Leinster's very, very strong at the moment. But the likes of Rice College and Westport, as I said earlier on, they were in the junior boys race as well. They're always very, very strong, so they'll be heavily involved. Just waiting for the start of this race. And I suppose in terms of the actual individual athletes that we could expect to see up in this race, one of whom is Anna Monaghan from St. Pat's-Navan. He's going to be in a kind of a black and yellow singlet. You see him very much at the front. Charlie O'Donovan from Clongowes is going to be in a green singlet. Clongowes there, you can just see him just on the right hand side of that tree near the chap in the red hat. Clongowes has produced many athletes over the years, including Marcus O'Sullivan, so very, very strong school. As well as that, you'll have Finlay Daly from Abbey Community College in Boyle, very, very strong run in the Connachts. And then as well as that, Patrick McNiff from Banbridge Academy always produced plenty of athletes over the years, especially on the track. So we should see a very, very strong race here all around. Clongowes, Mullingar, Michael Moran there, his brother ran in the junior boys race around. Jack Moran and Paddy Moran, his older brother, has also won, I think, a junior title over 1500 metres at some point. So very, very strong across the board. So the team title will be between Clongowes, Mullingar, St. Aidan's, Whitehall, Rice College, Westport, St. Flannan's and St. Michael's. It could be anyone's. As you see here, the gun go off there in the background. Very, very strong competition here. I, to be honest, couldn't even tell you who is going to win this team title. It's just that close. You can see just on the right hand side of your screen there, massive fall there at the very, very start of that. That'll cause a lot of hassle. You can see there on the right hand side of the screen the young chap in blue is working very, very hard to get up to that group. Probably not a great idea. It's very, very early on in the race, so he could take his time there and work up to the field. You often see that when people fall, they'll absolutely fly after everyone else. This is a very, very, very fast start here from these athletes. As you can see, I think that's most likely Finlay Daly there of Abbey Community College in Boyle leading that one. So a very, very fast start here. These boys are not hanging around. They're getting out and they're getting involved. So as you can see, Quiva Harrington is our intermediate schools champion to go with her minor and junior titles as well. So very, very strong run from her. First was Quiva Harrington, second Niamh Nicardla, third Jodie McCann. And I'll give you an idea of where those girls are from there now. Niamh Nicardla was from Closh Ishigon and Jodie McCann from Ratdown School in Wicklow. So very, very strong work there from Leinster individuals, Niamh Nicardla and Jodie McCann. So we could take a quick look there as I step all over my mic. These lads are still all very much packed together in this field. We can see there in second place, an athlete in red, looks to be from St. Aidan. St. Aidan's looking very strong early on in this one. St. Pat's Navan athlete, which was our lad from that I mentioned earlier, Alan Monaghan, who won the Leinster Schools title. He's at the front as well at the moment, but at the moment you can see a knockbag athletes in there as well, so the usual powerhouses involved. I can see Clongowes packing very, very well at this stage. I've seen 3 of their athletes go by so far, and Rice College Westport looking really, really strong as well. They've quite a few athletes up there at the moment. Abbey CC going well as well. St. Joseph's Galway involved. We could see maybe even a shock here from Rice College Westport if they were to come out and win this. St. Pat's Navan, their athlete there in 6th place. St. Aidan's in 3rd. Aidan's looking very, very strong at the moment as we come back onto our stream here at the moment. St. Aidan's in 4th. You can see 2 red jerseys there. That is our lads from St. Flannan's, I believe. So at the moment, our man from Closter as well there in about 9th, 10th place. Clostermere there in 11th place. Paddy Marr from Dunshaughlin in the yellow, right next to our man from St. Pat's Navan, who is our guy Adam Monaghan. I know Paddy Marr was way back in the intermediate race at the Leinsters, but he won the international schools last year. I know he was sick before Christmas, so has missed out on a bit of training, but really, really talented athlete and can't be discounted today. Not many people go over and win an international schools, and Quiva Harrington was one of them, and Paddy Marr was another in our last year's event. So they're normally very, very difficult to win, and Paddy won it by quite a distance, but not running to the same level this year, unfortunately, but it will happen over time. So madness here in the press box as we have a mouse that is distracting us hugely from the race here. It appears to be underneath this piano. We're quite scared. We've now started to stand on our chairs like 2 old women. We'll tuck our socks in our pants into our sock and see how we get on. But I'm sure it's more afraid of us than we are of it. We still see St. Aidan's here going very, very well in about 4th place, so they're looking very good. Paddy Mars featuring strongly there in the yellow vest in about 5th place, so he's only going to get stronger as the season goes on, and looking very, very good. And as our mouse makes another appearance, St. Pat's Navan here, Alan Monaghan wearing the hat here in front and the yellow and black singlet. They've improved immensely over recent years, and have been pretty strong in the team events as well. I know they don't have a team in this age group, but I will say it was a very, very strong age group 2 years ago as juniors, where we saw St. Michael's and Enniskillen win the junior race. They don't seem to be featuring as strongly today, but they are a very, very strong race. I keep scaring the mouse away here with my loud talking, so next time he comes out we'll get him with some cheese. So for all the people who were so distracted 2 years ago by our talk about Kit Kats, this time we've been distracted by a mouse. So Paddy Marr still featuring strongly here in about 5th place. This is still a wide open race, plenty of athletes involved there. Rice College Westport starting to drop off quite a bit. They were heavily favoured early on, but this team title will take quite a while to decipher. Plenty of strong runs to come in over the next couple of minutes. So this is 5,000 metres, so we should see finishing time in around 17 minutes on this course. But they are nice and relaxed now at the moment as a group. I'm starting to break away there, about maybe 12 lads. Paddy Marr in the yellow just at the back of it. Our man from St. Pat's Navan, Alan Monaghan there at the front with the cap on. And we also expect to see the likes of Jamie Roach here from St. Flannan's in Ennis, heavily involved as well. They were wearing a blue singlet earlier on. I haven't seen them feature in this race yet, but always a very, very solid school. I know the Markhams, Niamh Markham and Liam Markham and Brian Markham, a very, very strong family down there over the years, and the Chesters as well, another very, very strong family, part of Ennis Track. They've all competed in Flannan's colours over the years, so it really was a family affair there for quite a few years. So this race is still anyone's race at the moment. We should see the likes of Patrick Manoff from Banbridge Academy, Owen McCann from Rathmore and Belfast, Fintan Stewart from Lumen Christie and Derry, Philip Moran from Ratoath is a very, very strong athlete, Kieran Leach, Niall Harvey, Paddy Shaw. Leinster seem to be quite strong so far in terms of the depth in this race, but we're yet to see really, I suppose, a kind of a clear picture of how the team race is going and also how the individual race is going at the front. So we see plenty of spectators getting a good workout here, running back and forth across the field, which actually probably it is outlawed if you're running after the athletes consistently, but still a very, very enjoyable affair if you're running across after your athletes. It's hard not to, and you always want to get involved and kind of, I suppose, support your runners when they're out there, because it is quite tough. It's quite a tough event. So we still see these lads coming around here, plenty of St. Flannan's jerseys in there. They went very well at Munster Schools level 4 in the top 11. Aidan still featuring strongly. I know they ran in the All-Ireland clubs last week, which may be still in the legs, as did a lot of Flavin's lads. Closhtamura, a lot of those guys are out in Mullingar Harriers, and they did not run it last week, so they may be a little bit fresher for this race. You can see Alan Monaghan there in 2nd place. I'm just trying to get an idea of who exactly is leading this one. But Paddy Marr there, just the back of that group, in the yellow of Dunshaughlin. He won this race last year, but won this race as a junior. But he's sitting in at the moment against these older athletes. He's in about 5th place there. Alan Monaghan probably going to get best turned out with that outrageous hat. Surely at this stage is starting to heat up a little bit, but I suppose fashion has a price. Our man from St. Aidan's there, just in the back of the field, is Shane Merrigan. He's just there in the long socks. So these athletes have turned the corner again. You can see Charlie O'Donovan there from Clongowes in the famed green, black and white singlet of Clongowes. Plenty of great athletes coming out of there over the year. Mark Carroll, Marcus O'Sullivan. Probably the school with the most world medals of any school in Ireland. You see another athlete come in there from Dunshaughlin. St. Aidan's again featuring over there. St. Flannan's in Ennis coming in with two more athletes. Two more athletes again. They're very much packing well. Closter Mirror Mullingar looking really, really good in this one. Knockbeg College there. That is Cormac Kelly, DCU captain's younger brother, coming in there. Also a cousin of Brian Kelly, who's won 2 national silver medals over 800 metres. But we move back here to Anna Monaghan in second place. Just trying to get an idea. I think we're looking at I think it's going to be Patrick McNiff of Banbridge Academy, but today I've been extremely wrong 90% of the time, as we have, to be honest, no major information coming into our hands, so it is guesswork. But Anna Monaghan has lost the hat. The hat has come off. He hasn't thrown it away yet. He's obviously paid a pretty penny for this hat and does not want to get rid of it, but he's moved into the lead there. You often get a bit of a buzz when you take off a hat or gloves and that cold hits you, and suddenly you're a little bit more awake and a little bit more aware of what you're doing, and you start to move away. So the hat is gone. He's dropped it off, and St. Flannan's in us here. I think that's Jamie Roach there in second place. So all running very, very strongly here. 3 lads starting to move away. Paddy Mars paying for trying to keep up with these athletes and has moved back out of that group. So plenty of athletes still involved here. Anna Monaghan is, after he's slight bit of a burst there, has lost ground again. We're coming into what looks to be this last big lap here. Should take him about 4 minutes to get around this one. But very, very strong running here from our athlete in front. You can see very long legs there. He's starting to power away. There's not a pick of fat in him either. He's a lean greyhound, and no problems here moving away from this field. But Alan Monaghan has decided to close that gap again. 3 athletes moving away, making a break for it. These could be the medal men. Commentary there that could be Patrick McNiff from Banbridge Academy in first and Owen McCann in third Owen McCann now in second place with Alan Monaghan in third, so running very, very strongly there. These 3 athletes. Alan Monaghan starting to lose a bit of time and a little bit of positioning there on those top 2. Plenty of athletes there ready to take his place, though, if he does falter, as Charlie O'Donovan from Closter Tree there coming up to Paddy Murray. He's running very, very strongly here. Closter Mirror as well, heavily involved there in the green singlet. All green singlet. They've been running well throughout the day. Jack Moran being there, one of their major men at junior level. Sorry, that's Charlie Donovan coming through there to your picture in the green and white singlet. St. Flannan's there, 4 of those lads working together. They look like they'll have this team title wrapped up. 4 in the top 11 at Munster, so they're obviously packing quite well across the board. But these races are often decided by having a very, very good athlete in the top 15, and then after that, bringing your lads in around 30th place. But it's rare that, as you saw there with my own team, that we had 4 between 20 and 40. But unfortunately, we were missing out on that low number at the very, very start. But I think if you've got a low number as the likes of not St. Flannan's, but the likes of St. Aidan's do, they've manned the top 8 here. So he'll definitely be looking to try and drag his team to the team title. But this could be between Flavins of Ennis, St. Aidan's, Colossamirra, and St. Michael's and Skillen. I haven't seen feature hugely, but they did win the junior title 2 years ago, so they have the pedigree. So our athlete's going to be coming around into shot now again very, very shortly. And this is, I believe that Patrick McNiff will win, and he is leading this at the field at the moment. And in second place, we have Owen McCann of Rathmore in Belfast. So he looks very, very strong at the moment as well. So there is a gap growing, though, as time goes on, and as Patrick McNiff goes up this little bit of a hill here, he'll go back out into the back end of the course here. And as we've seen so far, if you're leading going into this back end of the course, you're normally pretty good. You normally look pretty good for the end of the races. In the background there, I see a few AIT students getting ready. University students, they'll have all ran these cross-country races before. They'll have mixed feelings about these races, whether they've done well or they haven't. They'll have all endured the same pain that these lads are enduring here, and I actually will decide that that is not Philip or not Owen McCann, and it could be a man from St. Malachy's, as I saw a man from St. Malachy's shouting after those guys there as a guy from Clongowes comes in there, and I believe that man from Clongowes is Kieran Nolan, number 727. So they'll be heavily favoured for this team title at the moment. So we can see in the back end of the course there, Patrick McNiff, I believe, is winning this race from Banbridge Academy. His stride has not changed throughout the race. Nice high knee lift the entire way, and has looked really, really good for this race. Whether or not his runs will affect the rest of the race, as we have spectators here trying to enter the building. It's absolute madness there. There's obviously great excitement outside, and they were rattling on the windows there. But Patrick McNiff is looking like he's going to win this race. So I believe that was Patrick McNiff, but I could stand corrected. Any ideas, Brendan? Fergal Curtin getting involved there as well from Youghal into trying to get in. I think he was in third place there as he came up the line in the red.
Collapsed over the line there.
Yeah, so great race. Long distance for these lads, 5,000 metres. So you guys probably, anyone that's listening, you've all ran a 5k or thought about running a 5k in the past on the road. This is a different predicament altogether on the cross country. A nice windy day like today, and at schools level they get out and they get after it, and
there's no holding back.
I see you've arrived with a coffee and a Twix, and yet no coffee and Twix for myself and Mark. Oh, Brendan, you've a lot to learn.
Counted all the change in my pocket. Had enough for one hot chocolate.
And we'll have an ad here from our sponsors, GloHealth, who are sponsoring this Irish Schools cross country.
Finally, there's a health plan for people who don't think they need one. The GloHealth Activate plans offer you unparalleled value, flexibility, and peace of mind. Activate Cash gives you generous cash back for scans and tests. And with Activate Hospital, you can upgrade whenever you want for faster access to private treatment. Switch to GloHealth and get your health cover from just €32 a month. GloHealth Activate. Cashback for scans and tests. Upgrade to a hospital plan whenever you want. GloHealth. My cover, my way. Finally, there's a health...
Aiming over the line there. All of these athletes are fighting for team battles. So even if you're out in 30th, 40th, 50th, 60th place, even if you're the 7th man in your team, you could knock a 4th placer back of another team. So it's always important in cross country to make sure that you work as hard as you can the entire time and get over that line before other athletes. Obviously, the only other time we really see that is on the track in the 4x1, and it's not really you're running against other people, but it's not the same level with those sprinters of this idea of really working hard back in the 70s and 80s and having that reason to work hard for the whole race, even though you might be anywhere near the individual medals.
Well, that's the good thing about cross country as well. Like it is, often team titles are often decided by runners maybe could be as far back as 50th or 60th. And
being a member of the Florida State team, you ran an NCAA cross country at some stage. Were you an individual for that, or did you have a team?
We had a team, and actually the year that we finished 5th, our 5th scorer was 130th, I think.
Yeah.
So it just shows you that it's really a team focused event cross country as far as I'm concerned anyway. There's enough individual glory when it comes to track and field and road racing and things like that, but I really think cross country should be billed as the big opportunity to win team titles and excel in that area.
Yeah, I mean, like even looking at these ones today, like a lot of these athletes, especially the likes of Clongowes, St. Aidan's, Knockbeg, St. Flannan's, Michael's. They've come into schools and Rice College. They've come into schools that have a very good tradition, and they probably wouldn't be running if those schools didn't have an interest in these team events, and it's great. You got guys, maybe finishing 7th, 8th on the team, but they're involved, they're running, and they're running from minor, junior, inter, and senior. And the thing is, over the course of those couple of years, you could improve massively as an athlete and become a very good individual runner. But you'll start off most likely being the 5th, 6th man on your team and working your way through. Unless you're Brendan O'Neill, who was a beast from the start, I believe.
No, I don't think that was the case. It took me a while to get up and running.
I was easily the worst on our club team for quite a number of years, and then worked my way up to being
the big dog.
Yeah, still mediocre, but still the big dog in my own pond.
No, it's really good, and like you can tell, that's where the importance of having like 5 scorers or 6 scorers instead of 4 scorers comes into it. Because if you have 4 scorers, it is probably build a little bit more to the front end of the race. But when you have 5, when you're counting a 5th and 6th scorer, it goes right the way back through
the field. It does become a team event then. When you look at that, and I believe there's actually a film coming out. It's already come out in America, but McFarlane USA it's known as, and it's got Kevin Costner in it, who you'll obviously know from Dances with Wolves. Great movie. It's actually Mark from RTV's favourite movie of all time, and it's one of them, one of the top 3. And basically, the film is about a team, a cross country team, and he's basically got a whole load of guys, and it goes all the way back to the 6th man, and the 6th man is a rather overweight young man, and he works his way up throughout the race, and over time becomes actually a reasonably good runner. But it's all focused on him, even though he's not a very good runner, being an integral part of the team.
And with cross country teams, you can have personalities can come so much into it as well. It's not just, it's not just about the top runner. It's about the morale of the team is so important, and it's not just on the day either. It goes right through the season. And if you ever read a book called Running with the Buffaloes about the Colorado cross country team in 1998, it's very much, you can feel that from the beginning of August, it's all the personalities contributing everything in different ways to the culmination of the national championships on one day in November of that year.
And that's the thing, we're only seeing now, on this day, we'll see these girls for maybe 10 minutes, and yet some of these girls would have put work in for the last 5 years. Some of these girls would have put a lot of work in since September, working all the way through the club cross country season for a day like today. And it's kind of hard, I suppose, to appreciate we would appreciate it since we've both done it to different levels, but the work that you put in, the miles that you put in, the effort, the cold nights,
sacrifice and commitment.
Exactly, yeah, and like all these people would have sacrificed majorly to get to this race. Sacrificed, even the likes of, especially when these senior girls, you're in 5th and 6th year, there's probably plenty of 18s to social things that you're supposed to go to, and yet these girls will have to say, no, I can't, I've got a race, or no, I've got to do this. And it's actually a great lesson, a life lesson, that to achieve something you have to commit to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the biggest benefits of cross country and track and field and athletics in general, is that there's definitely no hiding place, like compared to, say, team sports like football or something, because if you're having a bad day, you're gonna know, people are gonna see it, and I think that's what motivates you.
Exactly. Yeah, I think even looking back as well, it's always in black and white exactly what where you've come as well. There's never like, I thought he played well, or it really is, you finished 4th, you finished 6th, you ran this time, that's it. There's no shirking. Now, nobody from the Shirkin Islands in this one either, but we have Arsalan Sligo, Loreto Kilkenny, Loreto Clonmel and Victoria College Belfast are our 4 winners of our provincial team titles. And I know that Rona Pearce from Munster, Ashton Quinn and Ashton Roche would be our top 3 from Munster. Clodagh O'Reilly, who you might know, her brother Cian O'Reilly from UCD. Clodagh O'Reilly, I remember seeing her win a minor title a few years back, so she's obviously progressed up now to the senior ranks, finished 2nd last week, to our race favourite, who is Hope Saunders from Mount Temple, who not only won the National Juniors before Christmas, she won the Interclubs last weekend. She was the first woman home at the European Championships at junior level, and is the class of this field. But she won't have it all her own way. She'll have the likes of Niamh Cotter, Ciara Cummins in there as well. Orla Moynihan put it up to her and was only beaten by, I think, 1 second pre-Christmas in the National Junior Championship. So this is going to be a great race. Hope Saunders, you'll see her out there, black top, blonde hair. She will be the leader and be probably the race favourite, but there's a host of girls, maybe 5, 6, 7 girls who are going to be taking pot shots at her throughout the race and trying to win this race.
Yeah, well, it's hard. Like, you know, when you've come off the interclubs and won the race there, won the under-20 race, and, you know, leading girl home and the European cross for the junior team, like, you know, when you're that kind of runner, you tend to have a target on your back for a lot of these, for a lot of other competitors. So she's definitely the girl to beat, I think. So
just on another note there, it was actually David Edgars who won that race. Cormac Dalton was second, and Owen McCann was third in that previous race. So I'll just find out for you there. Cormac Dalton was from St. Joseph's Roach. He was second in the Leinsters and managed to get up for second place here in the All-Ireland. So things can change massively. Owen McCann was only third or second in Ulster and got up for third place today. And our winner there, whose name has just escaped me, even though I just said it, James Edgar. That's it, James Edgar. I'm trying to figure out where James Edgar is actually from here. He doesn't appear to be on our start list whatsoever. James Edgar, yeah. No James Edgar here at the moment. David Edgar, sorry, David Edgar.
Oh.
Still struggling to see which where he's actually from, but it doesn't really matter where he's from. He's gone off and he's won this intermediate boys title. Fantastic stuff. That race obviously not really going to farm whatsoever, but to be fair, Irish Schools Day, it's a big day. Fellas, just go. I'm going to go out and win this race.
it's the day to rise to the occasion. And this senior girls race is 2,500 meters. So it's actually
Same
short.
as the junior race,
The same as the junior race.
and shorter than the intermediate race.
So
I wouldn't agree with that in my mind. Would you agree with it, Brendan?
well, I mean, I think there's a number of reasons for it being shorter than the intermediate girls race. I think it's trying to stimulate a little more participation.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time
That's one reason.
They drop off at senior level, especially in the girls. We see far less people competing. As you see your Belvedere College cross-country top there, just on the left-hand side, made by yourself, Brendan.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I'm glad to see it's getting use anyway.
But yes, a lot of time you see the senior girls will probably drop off in terms of the amount of people running it. But in terms of this 2.5K, it does help out. More people are likely to run it at your zone and provincial level. But a lot of these athletes are well capable of running 4,000 metres, 5,000 metres. And maybe at All-Ireland level, they should change it to your 4,000 metres. But then that could be perhaps unfair on someone that didn't qualify because it wasn't long enough. So
Absolutely.
It's a hard one to call.
And it is. These girls will be running significantly quicker than the junior girls race, which was also 2,500 metres. So in that sense, it'll be over a lot quicker as well. And these girls are heading into the final lap.
They'll have done they're going to do 1.5 laps, I believe. So they did our short lap there.
And now they're going into their big lap.
Yes, senior girls, 1 short lap and 1 big lap. So they'll come around now and they'll be going into this. They'll still have to do another lap when they come to the finish here. So this will be with 1 short lap and then we're going out there then and getting in that second lap. So at the moment you can see at the front that is, Hope Saunders in second place and what looks to be Orla Moynihan in first place at the moment. But as mentioned several times already, I'm pretty much always wrong.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
I know, I'm trying. I can see Claude O'Reilly there in 4th place from Loretta College. Cavan there, tall figure there in 3rd place now at the moment. Well, 4th place, you can just see Hope Saunders just eking out there in front on the left-hand side. So this could be a very good race here. We've maybe 7 athletes there at the front of this field. Well, sorry, that was a spectator there running alongside. 6 athletes.
And for Hope Saunders, this is her wins up to now have been over longer distances.
That's very true. Yes, you might see a lot of athletes as our mouse makes a reappearance. Brendan is squealing like a little girl here and hopping on top of the table. But Hope Saunders, yes, most of her races have been over longer distances, and on top of that, you've also seen her victories be by very, very short margins. So there is a possibility that over the short distance, some of the probably quicker track athletes could be the ones that are involved.
And we can see the beautiful setting of the Clongowes Wood College backdrop on camera now as it pans over the trees and the surrounding fields in beautiful County Kildare.
Yeah, so it's been an incredible course today for these athletes. I know it maybe not suitable to everyone's tastes in terms of lack of hills and that kind of stuff, but this setting itself, lovely woods, fantastic castle here, just marking the outside of the pale where you're from, Brendan, and yeah, it's a fantastic venue. I mean, I don't think anyone could actually enter Clongowes Wood College without maybe taking a deep breath and going, wow, this is a fantastic venue.
Yeah, the big driveway, grand, majestic entrance.
And as you can see there, we've got
this race looks
St.
like it's
there doing in a team huddle there, just at the top of the shot there a moment ago. You see a lot of that in America as well. It hasn't really crept in here, but team huddles, maybe a little chat before the race for these team athletes. Hope Saunders there in second place, and that looks to be Claude O'Reilly there leading this one. These two battled it out last week at the interclubs.
And this is a good race right now.
So we've about maybe 800 metres left in this senior race here, as I think that's Circa McAllister there from Santa Maria in Louisburg there in third place. So at the moment, Hope Saunders and Claude O'Reilly battling this one out at the front here. Claude trying to break Hope from very early on, and these athletes only just raced last week, so they know each other very, very well. That's in fact Rona Pierce there in third place, the winner of the Munster Championships. She used to be a Scaries athlete, now down below in running for Leave LAC, and just moved there recently, so obviously made the right choice moving down to Cork there, St Angela's in Cork. Hope Saunders has now gone into the lead, just out of shot there, and we'll see if she can break away from Claude O'Reilly over this next while. It's at the moment hard to tell exactly which way this one is going to go, but we will see. We are constantly getting this idea here. We've only got a certain angle on our camera at the moment, but we will be seeing very, very shortly Hope Saunders and Claude O'Reilly coming into shot at the top of the field here, and we'll see who comes out of the mist here. And it is Claude O'Reilly is leading this one. Hope Saunders going to be beaten for the first time in several months here. She won the juniors before Christmas. She won the interclubs last week, but it's obviously still a little bit in her legs, and Claude O'Reilly has, I suppose, got that determination today that she's not going to be beaten again by Hope Saunders, and Hope Saunders starting to struggle a little bit, and it looks like that gap is not going to be closed by Hope Saunders. Claude O'Reilly almost certainly going to win this one, but Hope Saunders is a champion. Will she come back? Will she use the wind to make it up? I don't think she will at this stage. So last year's intermediate champion Claude O'Reilly getting up here for the win in this one, just on the opposite side of the streets. You'll see her coming through the field there. Claude O'Reilly, winner of the minor girls a couple of years ago in Abbottstown, and now winner of the senior girls. Hope Saunders beaten for the first time in quite some time. Hope Saunders second, and that looks to be, I think that's Ciara Cummins coming in there in third place. Then again, that's with a caveat, probably wrong.
Finally, there's a health plan for people who don't think they need one. The GloHealth Activate plans offer you unparalleled value, flexibility, and peace of mind. Activate Cash gives you generous cash back for scans and tests, and with Activate Hospital, you can upgrade whenever you want for faster access to private treatment. Switch to GloHealth and get your health cover from just €32 a month. GloHealth Activate. Cashback for scans and tests. Upgrade to a hospital plan whenever you want. GloHealth. My cover, my way.
The winner in that race was Rona Pierce from Hope Saunders. So a very, very good win for Rona. Congratulations to her in that senior girls Irish Schools Cross Country Championships. And the penultimate schools event of the day. Just left to go is the senior boys race and also the Irish Universities Championships in the men's. So the final runners passing under the GloHealth banner at the finish line there. Congratulations to all competitors. It's a tough event cross country, and credit must go to all participants for getting out here today and making it the championships that it is. So now we are about to move on to the senior boys cross country championships, and in this race we have a home favourite in Jack O'Leary of Clongowes Wood College, and he will be competing against Kevin Mulcair, winner of the GloHealth Interclubs Championships in Rostrevor last Sunday. And I'm sure Jack will have plenty of home support on this course. I'm sure we won't be lacking in that area. And Mulcair has been in great form this year. He was also the leading Irish finisher at the European Cross Country Championships in Bulgaria in December, and where they both ran on the Irish. Both Kevin and Jack competed on the junior men's team, and I'm sure they'll be athletes to watch in the coming years in those championships. So the nerves must be setting in now for these senior boys competitors as they wait anxiously on the start line for the gun to go. And you can see some of the other university teams just warming up there, getting ready for the university men's race, which is shortly after the end of this race. 6,500 meters of running. It's a long enough distance at schools level. A lot of these athletes would be used to running 3,000 meters in the track. I know some athletes may try the 5,000 meters. That's in this summer's Irish Schools Championships. But 6,500 meters is a distance to be respected at this age. I think we're just about to get going here. And we're off. 2015's concluding schools cross country race. And the sun is coming out on this March afternoon with the temperatures increasing over the last few days, making for a very nice setting and great conditions for this senior boys race. And my co-commentator Ronan Duggan has reappeared.
I am excited. I've been outside, I've got some fresh air, been chatting to lots of people, and this is going to be great. Oh, I'm so excited. Are you excited, Brendan?
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Okay, well, we've got Jack O'Leary from Clongowes Wood College. He's going to be in the purple. He ran 8:20 indoors only just the other day. You know what it's like to run indoors. You know what it's like to run 3,000 meters.
I was in the race.
You were in the race. Did you beat him?
I think so.
I believe you should have been ahead of him, yes, hopefully anyway.
But he was clipping my heels.
But Jack O'Leary, a fifth year here in Clongowes Wood College, he's in second place there. Our major competitor in this one, our major leader and favourite is Kevin Mulcair. Kevin Mulcair won the intermediates last year. He also won the intermediate 1,500 metre title, the intermediate 3,000 metre title. He also was first man home at the Europeans, a race in which Jack ran. So Kevin Mulcair is the overwhelming favourite for this one. But as we've seen throughout the day,
the 12th man, as they'd say, as the Seattle Seahawks fans would say.
The 12th man.
The 12th man.
The 12th man. Who was the 12th man in this case?
The 12th man is a metaphor for many people in this case, many Clongowes Wood College home fans.
And they've all got out in the course now, and what they normally do, I saw them during the week, major support for their rugby team, which unfortunately lost to our rugby team, but still massive support. And they're going to be out in the course. They're going to be supporting Jack O'Leary. This is probably one of the very, very few occasions in Irish athletics where you're going to have massive support for one athlete on his home venue. So will we see an upset like we saw in the last race? Rona Pearce, who I was calling completely wrong. I was calling her Clodagh already. Rona Pearce got up and won that one. The athlete from Cork, formerly from Skerries, now representing a far superior county, and obviously that is doing quite well for her. She got up and won that senior girls race. Hope Saunders in second. Will we see an upset in this race, Brendan?
Well, I mean, you've got Kevin, who is the favourite, like you say, and then you have Jack, who's very much in the position of having all the home support, so it could be a toss-up, you know. It's 6,500 metres of running, so there's plenty of time for things to happen yet.
As well as that, you're going to have guys like Peter Lynch there, you can see in the black and white of St. Kieran's of Kenny. They've featured throughout the day, and they look to be the favourites for the senior boys title. They have two athletes coming back into the fold that weren't at the Leinsters. I can see Sean Collins there of St. Flannan's giving a push to Andrew Coskren there. He's a steeplechaser himself. He is Kevin Mulcair's teammate, so that's a major team battle there between St. Flannan's and St. Kieran's. Andrew Coskren, who's around 3:47 there in the yellow and blue stripe. His teammate Aaron Hannon, now running for Providence College. He won this title last year. Andrew Coskren was second. He was only third at the Leinster Championships. He is mercurial. He could do anything today. He could win it, or he could finish 9th. Not 10th, though. He won't finish 10th, but he might finish 9th.
Do you want to put your money on it?
I'm going to put my money on it. I'm going to say that Andrew Coskren will finish somewhere in this race.
Don't know what odds you're going to get for that, Mr. Duggan.
So, as well as that, we have Jamie Fallon, who's leading this one in the green and red of... I can't even pronounce that word, but it's in Oranmore. Can you pronounce that?
Calas Nictius.
Yeah, college. Yeah, superb.
College. Yeah,
won't get any jobs in any in Irish schools anyway, the two of us. But he won the Connacht schools. He has been barely mentioned in the previews for this, but I'm sure he's enjoying that. He's going to come in under the radar and put it up to these other athletes.
Put the boot down.
And we could see that. We could see the likes of Jack O'Leary and Kevin Mulcair really work hard at the start of this race. Maybe worked almost too hard to try and beat each other, and then forget about the other athletes in the race.
Well, that's one thing that maybe from Jack O'Leary's perspective, he'd want to not get carried away at the start of the race. It's 6,500 metres of running. He'll have a lot of energy with the support here at the beginning of the race, and I think it would be smart for him to tuck in and just let some other people do the work at the early stages and use that energy in the later stages of the race.
And you can already see at the moment that is Jamie Fallon there in the lead. Kevin Mulcair with the yellow cap there. You can see him, I suppose you'd call it a beanie, I suppose you'd call it, going into the lead now at the moment. Jack O'Leary in third. nephew of Michael O'Leary of Ryanair fame, and then also Peter Lynch in 4th place in the black and white of Kilkenny. So will Kevin Mulcair be flying away from Jack O'Leary in this one? Haha, pun intended. Mark, did you enjoy that one? So Kevin Mulcair still leading this field with the yellow fluorescent cap. That'll make it easy for us commentators, Brendan.
Oh yeah, I'm all about that. I think it might also be a strategy for him. You know, once he decides to put the boot down, maybe the hat will come off and he'll slam it into the ground and take off into the distance.
Exactly, yeah, and we'll be distracted by the fluorescentness of said hat.
And the competitors might be distracted, which is probably the underlying motive.
Andrew Coskren there in about 5th place. He can't be discounted. He's ran 3:47 indoors for 1,500 metres, which is, you know, for a 6th year in school, that's pretty swift going. And he's got the track speed, especially on a flat course like today. He could feature near the end of the race, and he's not to be discounted. Joe Ryan, coach of Jack O'Leary, said that to me this morning. He said, don't discount Andrew Coskren there in the yellow. He's in 5th place. He can be known to have some very, very good races and known to have some very, very bad races, but who knows what he'll turn up with today. So Mulcair still in the lead. Have you ever been in this position, Brendan, in that league group, the All-Ireland Schools cross country?
Breaking the wind for other athletes.
Yeah, as Jamie Fallon is doing now from Oran Moore.
Yeah, I mean it's really at the early stages of the race still, because 6,500 meters of running. I think like it's really that last 1,500 meters where you need to be on point. You know, you need to be responsive. You need to know what's going on, and you need to have a little gear left to switch up and respond to a move, because all these athletes at this stage of the race are going to have energy. They're going to be able to pick up the pace. They're going to be able to do whatever they like, but it's going to be how they feel with 1,500 meters to go. That's going to be the deciding factor.
Yeah, and I mean, Kevin Mulcair, him being the massive favourite in this one, he might have to make the run in this race. I know in last week's interclubs he won it by quite a distance, but he only really left it until about a kilometre to go. He has the wheels, having won last year's 1,500 metres title at intermediate level at schools, but, you know, having to wait around and kind of work with that group and kind of take the wind and be in that pack for this long, he might leave it a little bit too late. It's a lot of pressure on him. Everyone's kind of waiting on him to make the move.
Yeah, and I think that's something he could probably play around with a little bit. You know, he doesn't have to go by what he normally does all the time. He can mix it up, and maybe that'll throw off his opposition a little bit as well. So, and
just a shot here, Brendan. I'm spotting that fluorescent hat of Kevin Mulcair. He's gone into the lead now. He only has about maybe half a metre on the rest of the field, with Jack O'Leary has followed him perfectly, and this is the way we want to set this race up. We want to see a great battle here between Kevin Mulcair, the heavyweight favourite, against our Rocky Balboa, our hometown favourite, Jack O'Leary. This is Philadelphia. This is Clane.
I heard Las Vegas are going to fly him out for next week to have a head-to-head. I think they're just going to take everybody else out of the race and just leave Jack and kill Kevin.
And you can see straight on screen there, that is, I think that's Joe Ryan there, coach of Jack O'Leary, and he is roaring, he is shouting. He coaches Shane Fitzsimons as well, so he's a very, very talented coach, and he's got Jack O'Leary into great shape in 2nd place there. But this race, it's not between these two men, it's between 80, 90 guys, and we have 6 of them here. We also have Paddy Robb there in 4th place from St. Malachy's Belfast. He's very, very heavily involved. Jamie Fallon starting to lose a little bit of touch here in 5th place. Andrew Coskren sitting back. Could he take advantage?
I think the move has just been made now by Kevin. He's certainly thrown in some sort of spurt there, and Jack was eager to respond, and he's now tucked in again behind Kevin. But I think the pressure is beginning to increase. The pot's beginning to boil a little bit now, I think.
And don't discount the likes of Peter Lynch there. He was 2nd behind Jack O'Leary in the Leinsters, but it's a long time. It's 3 weeks from Leinster to All-Ireland, so anything can happen in those 3 weeks. You could have, you know, injuries, you could have sickness, you could have just an upturn in form over a couple of weeks. You just don't know on the day. So even though we're saying this race is between those two major favourites, the likes of Peter Lynch from St. Kieran's Kilkenny, who's leading his team as well, and you also got the likes of Andrew Coskren. Don't discount them either, as I see plenty of St. Aidan's lads coming in there. They'll be looking to get involved in this team title against Malachy's Belfast and St. Flavins of Ennis. They're the top 3 teams at the moment.
I think we're getting to that stage of the race where you'll have athletes getting tired, you'll have athletes who are still very fresh, and I think, you know, some athletes can maybe get a little carried away at this stage if they're not careful. I think it's a crucial part of the race to stay in control and remember your race plan.
what we're seeing here now at the moment is Kevin Mulcair knows his race plan. He wants to get to about 3,000 metres, which we're getting to now. We're getting up to that stage in around 2 miles in the next while, and he wants to maybe break away just before that, and we're seeing that now with Peter Lynch of St. Kieran's Kilkenny. He's making the run now. Jack O'Leary's fallen off a little bit, maybe just having a bit of a struggle mid-race, but that hometown support will surely revive him later on in the race.
Yeah, no, I think that's a very decisive move made by Kevin Mulcair, and I think Peter is behind doing a good job of staying in touch and not letting him out of his sight. So he might be one to watch in this second part of the race.
Yeah, I know, yeah, like only second at the Leinsters, but Jack obviously ran a very inspired race that day and is maybe struggling a little bit here at the moment, but it is a long race. They can come back over time, but Peter Lynch is kind of holding that gap as Kevin Mulcair is dispensed with that cap and is now running, I suppose, free and easy.
Well, I did say that earlier on in the race that he was going to do that.
That was an excellent
call. An excellent call
on your part. Yeah, I think that was the one call that could be made. So at the moment, yeah, we're looking at Mulcair first, Lynch second, O'Leary third, Jamie Fallon fourth, Andrew Coskren fifth, and Paddy Robb sixth. These are the top six. Jack O'Leary's trying to get the better ground. He knows this course very, very well. He's gone off to the left of the screen there. Mulcair's gone around the corner. We're in around the halfway point now at the moment, so this could be a great finish. Mulcair may have gone a little bit too early, like our athlete Maria O'Sullivan earlier on.
Yeah, and there's a long way to go. I mean, it's a long way to run this wide open course, and when you're on your own and driving at the front of the race, it can take a lot of energy out of you. So,
and Peter Lynch is looking pretty good there, and Jack O'Leary seems to have kind of overcome that mid-race issue there, and he's actually starting to move in again towards Peter Lynch. Maybe Peter Lynch is just struggling slightly, but if Jack O'Leary can get up there, work with Peter Lynch, and they can try and reel in Kevin Mulcair, the man from Clare. That rhymed.
You did that on purpose, though.
Actually, while I was saying it, I was going, this is going to sound good now when it comes out, but beforehand I had no plan to say it.
Maybe a future career as a rapper. Don't think there's many rappers from West Cork.
No, I think we're at a maximum number of none. But you actually have a rap yourself, I believe. Myself and yourself are actually members of a very, very
a clique, one might say.
Yeah, 3D Tempo, I believe we were called.
Yeah, that was it back in the glory days.
In DCU,
DCU, yeah. So
unfortunately, didn't take off as a career for myself, but you have had a number one hit with Chilling the Beans in the Dunamare. Driving my bike because I got no car. For anyone who's ever been to Montegarda in Portugal, it's a Brendan O'Neill.
It was actually commissioned by the Tourism Council of Montegordo, so that was something I didn't say at the time.
It is on YouTube. I don't know what you type in. Hyptonite.
You'd have to look fairly hard for that now at this stage.
I'll post it on Jump of the Gun later on for anyone who's interested. But Kevin Mulcair is still leading this one. There's about 60 metres of a gap back to our second place athlete Peter Lynch of St. Kieran's Kilkenny, and then in third place Jack O'Leary. To be honest, it's not looking too good for our second and third place athletes at the moment. Kevin Mulcair is moving spectacularly well, piston-like arms, just working his way through this field, and he's got the knowledge of and the confidence of pretty much not having lost a race besides the European Championships in the last maybe year or so. Well,
that does help when you go and make a bold move like he did. He knows that he's beaten the guys in this field before. He knows he's got on a good day that he can carry this move home to the finish. So that's what he's thinking right now. That's what he's reminding of himself as he kind of gets to the real hard, grueling stage of this 6,500 meter race. So great running by Kevin. He's definitely one to watch over the coming years. It'll be interesting to see whether he decides to stay in Ireland or go to the United States on a running scholarship. That's something he's probably thinking about as well, but I think he's got plenty of options when he's running like this.
And you're the kind of man you should give a call, as you've experienced both collegiate systems, both in Ireland and in America. So an athlete like this could, I think, he'll excel wherever he goes. Yeah.
Well, you definitely. I mean, once you have the potential, he's no matter where you go, as long as you're committed to what you're doing, I think you can progress and get better and achieve your goals. So a lot of people will be looking forward to following Kevin's progress.
And Peter Lynch has just come in the shot there. He's struggling somewhat at the moment, and Jack O'Leary is definitely moving up towards him at this stage. These two are going to try and battle it out for second place, but I think at this stage Although I did call earlier out Maria O'Sullivan, I think at this stage we're going to see the winner is Kevin Mulcair, with Jamie Fallon in 4th, Andrew Coskren in 5th, and Paddy Robb there in 6th place. I knew eventually we'd get to a race where I actually knew quite a lot of people. But and after this race we have the men's intervarsity. So we had the women's earlier on, won by Marianne O'Sullivan, followed by Maria O'Sullivan, followed by, in 3rd place, Shauna Heaslip, who's only taken up the sport in the last maybe 12 months or so, which is fantastic. I know she won the Munster Novice title there before Christmas, so really fine athlete. But Kevin Mulcair is another fine athlete, and he is running away with this one, quite literally, as it is a running race.
You spotted that one there. Fair play to you, Ronan. And I think he has time to wave, to dance, to tumble somersaults his way to the finish at this stage.
Yeah, he certainly has. To be fair to him, he's dealt with the pre-race hype. I mean, even myself last night was building up this duel between Jack O'Leary and Kevin Mulcair, but in a duel not dissimilar to John Coughlin and Dave McCarthy in schools a couple of years ago. Kevin Mulcair has blown away the competition and is not worried in the slightest about Jack O'Leary or Peter Lynch. And we see the winner there now is Kevin Mulcair. Has this one, no issues. Will he put his hat back on? Forewarned. That's the only question left.
I think he's going to have to look fairly hard to find that hat. I don't know where he threw it. Did he throw it into the bush?
Sorry, I thought they were actually coming into the finish there, but we're not. Peter Lynch and Jack O'Leary are actually working together now at the moment and trying to get their way up to Kevin Mulcair. It appeared we were coming into the finish, but even myself, I was looking at the clock thinking that can't be done.
Yeah, that seems a little quick, all right.
Andrew Coskren coming in there in 4th place, so he's obviously left Paddy Robb and Jamie Fallon behind. And we could see Coskren move up over his last 1,500 metres. He does have that 3:47 speed in his legs, so you never know. Still 1,500 metres to go. I was calling the race early there. All this excitement to the junior race earlier on is
Oh, he went from the 2,500 metres distance for the senior girls race and gone all the way up to 6,500 metres for the boys. So it was a big jump, to be fair.
That is certainly something to look at in future years. That senior girls race. I mean, and the club events are running up to 5,000 metres. So I think it's a different one to judge. And I know Hope Saunders won the intermediate or the interclubs last week, but failed to win this week. Rona Pearce taking the title. So we can see Peter Lynch has put a brave move on there, and as the camera is panning over, you can see how far ahead Kevin Mulcair has actually gotten. He's worked very hard. The man from St. Flavins and Ennis, they've won many schools title over the year. You'll have remembered quite a few of them. Brian Markham, Liam Markham, Rory Chesser. You used to have a few battles with Rory Chesser, I'd say, back in the day, did you?
Yeah, Rory Chesser can't miss his big long stride when you're running behind him in a race.
So Kevin Mulcair is probably going to have his interclubs title. To add to that, he'll have an Irish schools title as well now, all within 6 days. That's a nice 6 days. What will he do tomorrow? On the 7th day, Kevin Mulcair rested. That's what they'll say. I
don't think Kevin Mulcair rests on Sundays. Something tells me.
Well, I suspect, yeah, he's getting in a nice long run on a Sunday, but he might have a day of rest to some degree tomorrow. Maybe a good roast dinner.
Good roast dinner. I think that's a reasonable way to celebrate the last 6 days.
And you can see Jack O'Leary there has been passed by Andrew Coskren. So I think at this stage, Jack O'Leary is probably out of this one in terms of the top three. He seems to be struggling somewhat. Peter Lynch is having an inspired run after only finishing second at the Leinster Schools. So I think maybe the pre-race hype was probably given Peter Lynch a bit of a disservice there, considering he's now looking like he's going to get up to second place.
Well, it's like the emotional and mental energy that kind of surrounds the pre-race hype, and the pressure has to be dealt with very, very carefully and approached the right way by the athlete, and it's difficult at a young age. But I think Jack is running a very solid race, and he's definitely got a lot to come this summer on the track, given his 3,000 metre performance recent weeks. So
we can just see now Kevin Mulcair is coming in the shot, and you can see Peter Lynch is in second place, and Jamie Fallon, who we were not picking up on camera now, is working his way up to third place. Jack O'Leary's gone back to sixth place, Andrew Coskren in fourth, and Paddy Robb in fifth place. So Jack O'Leary is done and dusted in this one, but we could see a great battle between Peter Lynch, Jamie Fallon and Andrew Coskren for second place, because first place is very much wrapped up, unless I suppose this sand up here and turns out to be quicksand as he comes up here and he ends up inside in that quicksand. That's the only way I can see him losing this race. Will it happen? No, it has not. He's away and he's home.
Is that the last quicksand, is it?
That's the last quicksand, yeah.
Okay.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, he is, yeah.
Or is there one more?
No, we're
Oh,
quicksand list. For the
Or
rest of the
quicksand
race.
list, all right. Oh, he's looking around now.
So I think he's just looking for his hat.
Yeah,
Can't
that's
remember where
probably it. Did somebody steal? Does that man steal his
that
hat?
looks like that, yeah.
I think that man stole his hat.
Daylight robbery, and we'll obviously be handing these tapes over to the Gardaí after this race.
Yeah, just watch. He's running to the left.
Yeah, that chap
Yeah.
there. I think
Orange.
quite unfair considering Kevin Mulcair's put in quite an effort here. He may be too tired to retrieve said hat after the race. But coming into picture there is Peter Lynch of St. Kieran's Kilkenny. He looks like he's going to be leading St. Kieran's to quite a good run here in this team title. I know they were second in the junior boys earlier on. Jamie Fallon from Oranmore, who had a bit of a mid-race struggle there when Kevin Mulcair put the boot down, but he's worked his way back up to third place, which is a great run following on from his Connacht Schools win. You can see Stephen Macklin there in the white hat from Douglas Community School cheering on Andrew Cosker in there in fourth place. Paddy Robb, St. Malachy's Belfast. I remember seeing him run over 1,500 metres in the schools a few years back. Fantastic run. And he's now in fifth place in this Irish schools. Jack O'Leary in sixth place. Kevin Mulcair looking fantastic here. Looks like he could keep running all day.
Well, he's used to the 8,000 metre races since the European Junior Cross Country would have been 8,000 metres. No,
that's
6,000. And okay, so it's actually a little longer.
Slightly younger than he used to, but he's celebrating wildly here as he comes up the home straight. Don't think there's too much pressure on him now at the moment. He's running within himself, and we can see him come up to the finish here. Definitely a classic
Celebrating.
runner.
There you go.
And as we said,
It's a hard-earned win.
Mark Carroll was the last guy. As he did do a flip. He seems to have fallen.
Did he fall or do a I think it was
he
a
did
flip.
But bit of a Robbie Keane special there. That's outrageous. We rarely see that in athletics, but could see.
It is good. It's good to see a bit of character like that, you know.
I'm sure his coach will give him a good talking to later on, though, risking injury like that. Like Lamana Lua, former Newcastle great. He used to hurt himself regularly doing the flips.
I think next week.
No Lamana Lua, but
Maybe he'll try the Klinsman on the track in the summer, but that probably won't be as soft a landing as it was out there.
As Peter Lynch comes through there for second place, and obviously with the huge crowd, we can only barely see Jamie Fallon coming up there and finishing third for Oranmore. Who will finish fourth? Will it be Coscarin or will it be Paddy Robb? Coscarin comes into shot there from Drogheda, and he has finished fourth in this race. Fifth, last time we checked, was Paddy Robb from St. Malachy's Belfast. St. Malachy's always a powerhouse. Remember when they used to do battle with Northmont over the years, and Jack O'Leary seems to have run out of it there, as you can barely see with the amount of spectators we have out in this course. You can barely see the athletes out there, but unfortunately one of the pre-race favourites, Jack O'Leary, struggling over the line here at the moment, which is sad to see in one way, but he's had a great season. He's come back and won the Leinster Schools. He's ran 8:20 and he's got to compete for a title in front of his home crowd, which is something that he'll always have in his armoury, I suppose. He might never have to deal with that kind of pre-race hype again.
Yeah, I mean it can be tough when there's a lot of pressure around you. But I think it was a solid run. I mean, I'm sure he would have hoped to do a bit better, but no doubt Jack will be back to tackle other opportunities going forward.
Jack will be back. Was that intended?
Well, I was just taking after you really run, and I heard you do it, so thought it sounded cool.
Excellent. It did sound very cool. I'm very impressed with your commentating debut here. Just before we hand over to our university's team now in a moment, this race itself, Kieran's Kilkenny, Malachy's Belfast are all being with a show for the team title. Blackrock are in there, Knockbag are in there, St. Flannan's of Ennis. Very, very strong runners. When Kevin Mulcair with the win, and Sean Collins will be in that top 10 as well. So could be anyone's guess as who's won that one. But in terms of your, I suppose, highlights of the day so far, in terms of the schools.
Well, I thought that Rona Pierce had a good win. The senior girls. Obviously, Kevin. That was a very impressive run by Kevin as well. I'd say Kevin's was probably the standout run of the day because he just dominated.
Yeah, he did from a long way out, from 3,000 metres out as well. Looked very, very good. As you said, Rona Pierce, fantastic run. I think Hope Saunders running the race last week. 6 days ago, she ran quite a distance as well. So it's hard to come in and try and rev herself up again 6 days later. But what a great turnaround by Rona Pierce to go off and actually win that race after losing to her pre-Christmas. But plenty of athletes in that one as well will be hoping to take cracks off each other over on the track season. As well as that, intermediates. I mean, intermediates was there were so many athletes involved at the front of the intermediate races. It was always hard for us to tell who was winning what, but I think overall, as you said, the senior races are always the pick of the day. As I see Fergus McCormick just crossing the line there from my school, he's only taken up running there recently, so he's obviously going to be very, very happy he's run. I think Lewis O'Loughlin, the winner of the minor boys race, after seeing him win all 3 schools titles this season in the West Leinster and now the All Irelands, he is a man to watch for the future. Has no club at the moment, and he's just one of these guys that is just incredibly talented, and I know he over each round dispensed with more and more of his gear. At the start was wearing hats and gloves and tracksuits and all that. Leinster's he wore a little bit less, and now finally somebody's gone off and told him that if he wears shorts he might actually run a bit faster. So happy, a very, very, very good day. The varsities then as well, we had a fantastic race in the varsity. That was one of our highlights of the day as well. Maria O'Sullivan going off very, very hard with maybe, what was it, after 1,200 metres, and then being clawed back by Marianne O'Sullivan throughout the laps. And
well, in terms of tactical racing, that definitely was one of the highlights, because we all thought Maria was going to hold on until the end, but Marianne came out and carried that momentum in the second half of the race through to the finish and took the win.
And I suppose in terms of the universities men's, which is up next, I know we'll be handing over to our commentary team there now shortly, but I'm sure we'd like to get in our piece now on who we reckon is going to win it. I know Liam Brady, first under 23 home before Christmas, he is one of the red hot favourites for this race. Jamie Roster, I was chatting to him earlier on, he's now being coached by George Candy, who coached Sebastian Coe, and he's come back from Loughborough for this. He's 1 year down for DCU, so he'll be heavily involved. One of my own men, Mark O'Sullivan from CIT, we outside looking to get heavily involved here at the business end. Ian Guyton, whose little brother ran earlier on in the junior race, he'll be back. He's only ran 2 races in the last 6 months, but he's obviously a very, very talented athlete, having won the Irish Schools 5,000 metres before, and plenty of other athletes in there as well, all looking to get involved at the top end.
Yeah, and then we can't forget the team title as well.
Yeah, top 6 over the line for each team is integral to figuring out the title. I know the WTIT Ducks are always trying to oust the DCU Dragons and the
UCD Bears
for this team title, but the AIT Aardvarks, no, I don't know what AIT are called, but I hope they're called the Aardvarks, but I don't think that is their official name. Can anyone confirm? No, I don't think anyone can confirm that one, but they'll be heavily involved. The UCC Pirates as well. I'm going to go with Aardvarks. I'm going to speak to Paul McNamara and see if we can make this a thing. But we're going to hand it over here to our commentary team. I'd like to say thanks from myself to Brendan O'Neill for hopping in today, for jumping the gun. He's going to be possibly going, depending on what his wife says at the moment. She's just sitting back here. We'll see. And we'll have an ad here from GloHealth. Thanks very much to Air TV and the Irish Schools Association and GloHealth themselves. Thank you very much.
Finally, there's a health plan for people who don't think they need one. The GloHealth Activate plans offer you unparalleled value, flexibility, and peace of mind. Activate Cash gives you generous cash back for scans and tests, and with Activate Hospital, you can upgrade whenever you want for faster access to private treatment. Switch to GloHealth and get your health cover from just €32 a month. GloHealth Activate. Cashback for scans and tests. Upgrade to a hospital plan whenever you want. GloHealth. My cover, my way.
Brendan, twice winner of this event, is that right?
Yeah, 2009, 2010, if I recall correctly.
And a funny quirk about your co-commentator, I was twice 87th in this race, 2013 and 14, if I remember correctly.
Exact same results, was it?
Yeah.
There you go, jeez.
Looks like we're on our marks here. Cyril Smythe.
Ready to roll.
With the gun. Wide open race today, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like it's an interesting one, the universities, because like a lot of the athletes would run maybe the inter clubs the week beforehand. There'd be indoors going on. And obviously the club captains and the universities would be recruiting pretty hard for this race. So even if you're not necessarily running cross country or you're training for track, you probably be roped into this race. So you get a mixed bag of athletes.
Yeah, and someone's taken a fall there. One of the AIT aardvarks, I think. There's always a bit of action in the first kind of 100 metres of these cross country when you have 80 or so guys condensed into such a short space. But surely he'll be all right.
What does aardvark actually mean?
I don't know. It's the first. It's kind of like an anteater type mammal, or maybe.
So it's essentially a mascot, like, or that's the idea.
Mascot,
yeah. Okay.
Essentially a mascot. And someone's gone off here very hard from the start. I can't see really from our view here who it is, but taking it out at an honest pace in the initial stages of this race, anyway.
Honesty is the best policy, as they say. And
well, certainly in cross country, there's no point waiting to sit in the cake.
Is it just it seems to be packing up a little bit there, maybe after its first two leaders. The pace, everybody seems to be together. It's not strung out too much or anything.
Yeah, that's right. It seems to be athletes kind of well bunched at this early stages of the race. It looks like Liam Brady in second from AIT, one of the infamous aardvarks behind our mystery leader. Big deep field in the varsities anyway. You can see this line stretches miles back.
Yeah, it's a great spectator course. This is like I was just remarking on it during the schools races that it goes a long way to have a course where spectators can just watch the whole race from the one vantage point, and have one big lap. It's a very easy, like, you don't have to deal with, like, if you're running in a race, you don't have to be like, okay, I have 4 laps to go, I have 5 laps to go. You can be like, all right, I'll run 2 or 3 big laps, Yeah,
exactly. Even psychologically, the task of running two or 3 laps is a lot easier than running 6 or 7 laps. Is definitely right.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see how the team competition goes in this race as well. I know DCU and UCD should have maybe 5 or 6 guys all around the 8:40 mark for 3K. So it'd be interesting to see how that kind of translates to results in the cross country.
Yeah, well, it's a flat enough course, so I think 3K speed would translate over reasonably well. You do have that kind of sogginess in the ground this time of year, which, like, it's very difficult to find a hard cross country course in March in Ireland, but ultimately I think it'd be, and that's.
Two UL athletes leading it out. Is that Liam Reel from UL, is it?
That's Emmett Jennings in third, one of my training partners in DSD.
Yeah, that's right, Emmett in third. We've got James Kelly involved here, Richard Owens.
Liam Brady from AIT is back in about 9th position.
That's right, Brady.
So there's tactical tactics going on here.
Yeah, exactly. Tactical tactics, the most tactical kind. But it looks to be Liam Reel as a surprise entrant in this 3K. I've a memory of Liam coming down to the indoors in Nina and running a barnstorm in 3K. You see John Maroney from Trinity there, midway through the field. Good strong runner from Mayo, learned his craft on the hard hills of the West. So I think we've confirmed that it's not in fact not Liam Reel in first place in this race. It's Michael Herity from UL. Not traditionally a cross-country stronghold, UL. Always do well on the track with the likes of Niall Toohey and Thomas Barr and Barry Upton down there now, but they haven't been too prominent in cross-country over the years. It's been dominated by kind of DCU and UCD really in kind of recent years. But Liam Brady's taking the front now for AIT. Liam had a fantastic run there to win the Irish Intermediate Championships not too long ago. And he was also on the Irish under-23 team that represented at the European Cross Country Championships in December, so it's been a fine form recently.
Yeah, Liam's a very, very strong cross-country runner. He's perfectly suited to cross-country. He's got a lot of power and strength, and on a course like this, I know he'll be eager to press on rather early, because there aren't many hills, there aren't many tough spots. So he'll really want to throw the gauntlet down early and start testing the strength of other athletes.
Yeah, that's right. And again, going back to what we were saying about just the course being not nice and flat, and that 3K speed might be a factor, you kind of have to look at cross-country runners like Liam that would be suited to hills and kind of muck, and you really kind of think that in his mind he must be thinking that he has to take this race on from an early start, and that's kind of what he's done. We're only 5 minutes in, and he's hit the lead, and the field is starting to string out big time now. Our mystery leader, who we thought was Liam Reel, is now well back and is not Liam Reel at all.
It turned out to be tactical tactics. That was kind of at the fore there.
From the UL Wolves. So we've Liam Brady in first with AIT. We've UCD in second. I think it's Dara Rennick's in third for AIT, and then we've someone from DCU in fourth. It could be Jamie Rossiter, but I can't make out from here.
That does look like Jamie Stride, all right.
Yeah, it does look like Jamie Stride. Nice and graceful.
Textbook form, one might say. Born to run.
So if that is Jamie, we've this year's intermediate champion in Liam Brady in first, and we've last year's intermediate champion in Jamie in fourth. I don't know who won it the year before, so. So no DCU athletes featuring at this early stage. DCU obviously the defending team champions, but obviously it takes 6 men to score. So we have to think that it'll be going back as far as maybe the 20s and 30s in terms of place to score on a team. So you can see Brian Kelly moving through strongly there for DCU. Cousin Cormac also in this race.
Yeah, the team title is it gets really wide open when you go back as far as 6 to score, because, like in a lot of other events or championships, it goes back to 4, and it's usually confined to the same 4 runners. But if you have 5 runners and one drops out or something, or if you have 6 and one drops out, it's like you're in trouble then,
Yeah, definitely, and it does draw an interesting comparison between the Irish Senior Championships, which were held last week, and obviously it's 4 to score. The University Championships does emphasise a bigger degree of depth, needing 6 runners to kind of cross the line all in good position.
I guess it's not a bad idea, because you've got you've got more of an emphasis on. Well, I suppose in the interclubs as well, you want to have an emphasis on participation, but at the university level, I think it is really important that you get numbers out.
Yeah, definitely. Again, yeah, it'd be definitely more of an emphasis on participation.
So I guess if you have to have 6 athletes to score a team, you're going to find an extra 1 or 2 athletes if you don't have them. So, and that, just more numbers on the line is always a better situation.
Yeah, more numbers on the line. That's what they say. Success brings numbers, but numbers bring success.
There
Great
we go.
paradox of cross-country running. So we've Liam Brady still in front here for AIT. In second, we've UCD. And these guys are they're running away from the field here, really.
This looks like turning into a bit of a tempo run for Liam. We'll see how long his companion can keep pace. If maybe he's taking it easy and he's going to spring a surprise on Liam, who knows?
Waiting to pounce, that's right. And we're still not even at the halfway point in this race. Jamie Roster coming through in third, with Dara Rennick, it looks like in fourth. And then we have a good bunch here. So we have 3 UCD athletes in this bunch here. So UCD looking good for the team competition already. You can see Emmett Jennings then following that second group. But it looks like UCD going well for the team title at this early stage. I can see Cormac Kelly from DCU there coming through. No sign of Joe Warren yet. I haven't seen Joe. I saw him outside supporting earlier. I wonder has he finally forgone his varsity eligibility after several successful decades as a DCU captain.
I think he might have 1 year down still. I think so.
1 year down.
This is his 1 year down.
His 1 year down. Okay, yeah. So we've just confirmed that Joe's on his 1 year down.
I did see him before the race, and he said he had been struggling a little bit with a cold, so he's probably just recovering a little bit as well, and I'm sure he's going to contribute significantly to the DCU team either way. So
Yeah.
Con Doherty,
So it's still Liam Brady and Con Doherty here. Con Doherty making his debut for UCD, I believe, in varsity competitions, and he's having a fine run for a young lad in first year.
And Con comes from a triathlon background as well, so this is a discipline, cross country running, that's gonna suit his aerobic profile.
Yeah.
So a pace
Very
like
right.
this, if he can just tuck in, hang in there, and work aerobically from earlier on, I think he might be in a good position to challenge Liam.
And that's right. If he just sits in and makes Liam do the work in the early stages, we could be in for a very surprise winner here in Con Doherty. But it really is the two of these boys have pulled away from the field massively here. And unless we see a repeat of the women's race, it looks like our 1-2 have kind of been firmly established at this stage. We can see there Eric Keogh now has moved up into fourth behind Dara Rennicks. Jamie Roster starting to fade back. And DCU not looking too strong in the team competition here. We can see Jamie, we can see Emmett Jennings coming through, James Kelly.
I think UCD are very much the team to beat at this stage of the race.
A lot of yellow singlets.
And only 11 minutes, nearly 12 minutes gone in this race. It's 8,000 metres, which would usually be around 25-minute mark, is usually a good barometer.
Yeah, 25, just over 3-minute kilometres would make sense.
So not even halfway yet, or
Yeah.
just approaching halfway.
And what would you say is going through the minds of Liam Brady and Con Doherty here? What would the mindset be at this point in the race? Is it a bit of you don't want to be the one to blink first, or?
Well, it's very much a case of Liam now having taken the lead and been pressing for so long. He's kind of wondering, well, if I stop pressing, is that a sign of weakness? Do I keep going? Maybe Con is a bit tired and I can break him early in the race and really test him. But like I said, if Con's got that aerobic profile and he's really, I don't think he's going to find it too hard to just hang in there. So it might be a case of Liam having to think of alternative tactics.
Yeah, maybe push on hard now, or even maybe sit and maybe let Con kind of dictate the pace if that's what he.
Exactly. I mean, it's like there's a long way to go in the race, and I don't think there's any harm in saying I'll drop back maybe here at this stage, and it's 4K into the race. And then with 2K to go, I'll recover for the next 2K or take a breather and then go hard the last 2K, because that's something then you can really drive home to the finish. It's just when you got if Liam's been leading now from 2K into the race, it's hard to maintain that,
Yeah, that's it. It's hard, especially the wind out there is quite strong, so psychologically there is a bit more of an effort to push through as in kind of first place, which is such a long kind of period of time. He might be leaving himself open to an attack from Con over the last kilometre or so.
Yeah, I mean it is. Oh, there. Oh, look! It looks just. We come back into shot here, and it appears Liam has pushed on and broken Con Doherty.
Yeah, look, Liam Brady's made a big move here. Con Doherty completely out of camera here. So Brady's obviously taken our advice on board and decided to push on and put Con Doherty to bed at the early stages of this race. That gap now back at 20 metres and growing, it appears. Brady turning over quicker than Con. The stride is lengthening, and Brady's really picked this one up. He's got a long way to go, maybe 10, 11 more minutes. So you're talking about in excess of 3 kilometres. It's a very, very early move from Brady here.
Well, judging by the gap that he's created just in the last couple of minutes, Liam could very well have sensed that Con was struggling. Something that we probably can't pick up on from where we're sitting, but and he might have used that to just decide to push on and say, you know what, I'm feeling good. My competitor here is struggling a little bit. Maybe I can take it from here.
Yeah, and there's so many subtle little hints you can pick up on when you're in this position. You hear someone behind you. Their breathing is faster than yours, and they're working harder than you. And it's just gives you that little bit of an incentive to just kick on and put it to bed early. So a move made by Liam Brady here of AIT. So AIT also, will probably come into the shake-up at the end of things in the team standings as well, with Brady in first and Dara Rennick's in third at the moment. And again, this bunch of athletes coming through is probably really where the team competition will be decided here.
The sun's coming out now as well, breaking through the clouds. So it's going to be a nice afternoon by the looks of it, which is always a bonus.
Oh yeah, no one enjoys running more than running in the sun. Colm O'Leary, the Trinity captain, just coming through there in the green shorts of Raheny Shamrocks. Most likely Trinity's first runner home, I'd suspect, on current form. But it's back to Brady here, and Brady is away and clear. And really, in my recent memory across countries, I don't remember anyone kind of opening up a lead this size so early in the race. So kind of it would be out of it would be a level of dominance that we wouldn't really have seen before at a varsity cross.
Well, Liam, he's a very strong runner, and if there's anybody that can kind of take on a lead and like that so early in the race, I think it would be him.
Yeah, and that gap is now up to about 50 meters here. And again, touch wood, lest we kind of curse Liam Brady here, but unless we see a collapse like we did in the women's varsity final, it doesn't look like Liam Brady is going to be caught. Just about 3 kilometres to go here. So Con Doherty in second. Con Doherty still moving well, and we can even see a gap opening up between Doherty and third place. So these two really out and away in first and second. As Brady kicks on now behind the furthest of the rugby pitches. And then again the chasing group here to decide the last of the 3 medals. Eric Keogh looks to be in the mix there. Dara Rennick, Jamie Roster back involved, and Mark O'Sullivan of CIT having a good run. I was involved in seeding the men's 3,000 meters for the varsity indoors, and I overlooked Mark when seeding the A race, and it was abruptly, or would you say hastily, corrected by Donny Walsh before the final start list went through. And he's hanging in well here in 6th place at the moment, is Mark, having a good run.
So the bronze medal seems to be really up for grabs at this stage. There's a fine pack of runners challenging for that bronze medal. It looks very much like the other 2 medals could be sewn up.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Brendan on this one. Just as they're coming by the scrum machine here, we can see it's about 50 metres from Brady back to Con Doherty, and again, maybe even more than that. We're looking at about 70 metres now to Jamie Roster, who seems to make a move, or have made a move. We've got Dara Rennick, Eric Keogh, and Mark O'Sullivan. Eric Keogh won a medal at the 3,000 metres indoors. Actually, was second place. Came first last year, but only good enough for second this year. And then we have, I think that's Cian O'Reilly from UCD following up. And then we have the big stride of Cormac Kelly from DCU and Emmett from DCU, both in the same college, but clad in different singlets. And Cormac obviously wearing the newer version, the navy. As a DCU alum, what would your take be on the new navy singlets? Would you be a fan?
Well, I actually supplied them, so I wouldn't. I'm not sure it would be proper for me to say I don't like them. I think the idea was that it was kind of bringing it back to the original 2006 singlet, the navy, the plain navy, which was kind of just a more solid kind of identity for the DCU Athletics Club, and I think they look pretty well. So.
Yeah, they look well, and obviously Brendan has to maintain his professional courtesy here and not make any further comment. No,
I think the DCU team really are kind of back in the standings here in this race, aren't they?
Yeah, they look to be back. Like I mean, we've a couple of AIT athletes up close, and then we've a big bunch of UCD athletes. So I think it's really UCD look to be in a strong position at this stage of the race.
Yeah.
And then maybe between AIT and DCU for second and third. But you know, I've a lot of memories of having maybe 3 or 4 DCU athletes in the top 10, and we seem to have kind of dipped away from that a little bit with the passing of you know, obviously the likes of yourself and John Coughlin have kind of passed through DCU now. David McCarthy doesn't seem to be here, and Joe Warren obviously on his last legs, maybe a bit run down today, hasn't featured as we thought he might.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. All right, I think it's really a stage now where DCU needs a new kind of new wave of athletes to come in and kind of pick up and start reasserting at the front end of these races. You know, and I know athletes like Emmett Jennings would usually be up there contending. I think Emmett's been struggling a little bit with an injury, but I think there definitely needs to be a kind of a recruitment class, as they'd say in America, a strong recruitment class next year, in the next year or two, to re-establish the DCU team. And
no doubt Endo will be working hard today with all the athletes that featured in the schools championships earlier to ensure a strong recruitment effort. And yeah, interesting point about Emmett. Actually, we kind of forget how well Emmett has featured in these races over the past. I remember down in Waterford in 2030, Emmett was 4th behind Coughlin, Dara Birmingham, and Mick Mulhare. So very, very strong field there. Emmett unlucky to, you know, come out on.
Emmett's he's a very strong runner. He ran in the World Junior Championships in the steeplechase, I think, in 2010.
Did not, did he?
Yeah, he ran under, I think, 9:09 for the steeplechase to run the qualifying time. So I think he's a strong runner. I think he just needs the consistency in training that he's been missing for the last while, and I'm sure he'll be back up at the top end of the business end of this race in future, you know.
Yeah, and you know, Emmett's he's finished college now, maybe adjusting to life now, kind of working full time as a teacher and stuff like that. So it does take a time to be able to transition from one to the other, you know, to kind of develop your routine again and kind of just get back into that consistency. So.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, like, it's easy to say when you finish college and take up a job. It's like, you know, oh, I can't run anymore. But I really think that it's a case of adjusting your ambitions rather than abandoning them.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, you got to make compromises, obviously. But I think when you're just smart and committed about it, you can do it effectively. It's challenging, but like you say, it's just that transition process.
Yeah, exactly. And a very, very good comparison between adjust and abandon there.
Yeah.
Like the alliterative effect. We've Brady coming around now, and he's starting to lap a number of athletes in the field here, coming through. I remember getting lapped by John Coughlin in a cross country. You know, just when you think it couldn't get any worse, you start to get lapped. So, but no doubt Brady can use this as a bit of an incentive to kick on. You know, he can pick out guys on the horizon and work hard to keep passing them out. So this will help him maintain his lead over Con Doherty.
Yeah, well, this is a nice. I mean, it's a good race for Liam. It's a good opportunity for him to test himself against, you know, the clock effectively, because what he's doing now, just try and run as fast as he can, get a good workout in, and use this as a platform to build on heading into the summer, where I'm sure he'll be targeting the longer events, given his strength in over distances like this, you know.
Yeah, like we'll most likely see him featuring in kind of the 5,000 meters. You'd think anyway. I
would imagine, yeah, or even a 10k. I think he's good. Yeah. He has good strength for as well, and you know.
Look at this here. We've got Jamie Roster has made a move, and he's actually passed Con Doherty into second place.
It's very smart running from Jamie there.
Yeah, and you have to think maybe Con Doherty might have maybe burnt himself out a little early, trying to keep the pace with Brady, and he's left himself open to attack from Rossiter here. We've Marco Sullivan and Eric Keogh will be trying to bridge that gap from 4th and 5th back to 3rd place, but it looks to be an interesting run between Rossiter and Con Doherty as we come into the closing stages here.
And I think Con, it was a brave bid by Con to try and get after Liam, and you know, I think we need more of that fearlessness in racing, to just get after it and so, you know, just hope, like, you know, you some days it might work and some days it mightn't work, but I think that's, you know, a way of getting the best out of yourself and really testing yourself.
It'll be interesting to see how we're fixed with Jamie Roster and Con Doherty as they come back into shot. But we've got Brady here is streaking away. he's got to do one more he's got to kind of navigate one more set of rugby pitches, and then he should be on the home straight as he kind of continues to lap the athletes at the back end of the field, passing an AIT fellow aardvark here. And he's navigated his way through Ronan Duggan's quicksand as effectively as you'd assume. But it's going to be Brady all the way, and there's no doubt of that. But it'll be interesting to see. And now, we're going to get a look at how Jamie Rossiter is faring against Con Doherty, as they're going to come into shot here, coming around the pitch.
And you can see there the extent of Liam Brady's lead. He's really dominating this field and is very much the class of the race today.
Yeah, and I think this angle is really emphasises that, but it's Jamie Rossiter that's coming into second now. Doherty looks to be finished as Rossiter is kicking on, and it looks like Dara Renix is going to give Con Doherty a run for third place now. So Con Doherty looked to be kind of sticking with Liam Brady and certain of a medal, may now kind of just finish outside of that in fourth place. But look, it's going to be Brady coming around onto the home straight here. Still working hard, still running really, really strong. 50 metres to go. Are we going to see a celebration?
I mean, like it's an Irish title for Liam. I don't know if he'd be the character to do a somersault like Kevin Mulcair did, but I'm sure Liam will be satisfied with this win and he'll cross the line. Maybe there we go.
There you go. He raises the right hand. Liam Brady, 2015 Irish University cross country champion. Absolutely fantastic run from Liam. He'll be delighted with that. We've got a good view of the second. We've got a good view of the finish here, but it's going to be Jamie Rossiter coming through in second for DCU. Great run for Jamie as well. Wouldn't have seen him, in prior years finish this far up the field in a varsity cross country. Obviously, he's done very well outside university competition. So nice to see Jamie featuring so well in the varsity cross in what might be his 1 year down as well. And here comes Rossiter flying down. Great run from Jamie, well timed. And it's going to be Dara Renix in third. Con Doherty's faded off the podium. Great run from the first year from UCD, but he'll be absolutely gutted with that. And we've got Mark O'Sullivan, Eric Keogh, Keane O'Reilly it was before Eric Keogh, and now the athletes are starting to crack in. We've 2 from UL there as well. We've 3 from UCD across the line already, only 1 from DCU. Looks to be UCD and
there's DCU again there. Is that Cormac Kelly?
Is it Cormac Kelly? Yeah,
in the Navy
Kelly
singlet.
Through, yeah. Another from DCU there. I think that's Peter Matthews.
So I think is that UCD again there?
Oh yeah, that was Eric Keogh. Here's Emmett Jennings, I think it is.
Okay, so that's 4 DCU.
4 DCU, 5 DCU. James Kelly coming across the line in a white headband. Looks to be another man from DCU.
Oh, is that UCD?
Or is it UCD?
There's
too hard to tell. Damien Landers, second in the 800 at indoors, came through there. But it looks to be 5 or 6 from UCD across already, 5 or 6 from DCU, and it'll be interesting to see who's going to take it in the end.
I think AI
coming through for Trinity there, the first man home.
AIT had the top 2 in the top 3, so they're a team to factor in as well.
Exactly. 2 in the top 3, and we've seen 1 or 2 kind of cross the line since. So AIT could be in the mix here as things progress as well. Crossing the line here in the men's university championships, it's going to be between UCD and DCU for the win, but that's going to be all from us here. You should check the IUAA Facebook page for confirmation of the team result. But it's going to be between UCD, DCU, and AIT for the medals. Any parting words, Brendan?
It was good day of racing. I mean, Clongowes put on a great facility and course here, and I'm sure everybody will be hoping that they can come back here and compete again. So thanks to Clongowes, thanks to the sponsors, GloHealth and Athletics Ireland and the Irish Schools Association, the IUAA. That's everything, and I really enjoyed commentating today. So thanks for listening.
Yeah, okay, and that's bye from us. So just again, confirmation that the results from the universities races will be on the IUAA.org website.
Finally, there's a health plan for people who don't think they need one. The GloHealth Activate plans offer you unparalleled value, flexibility, and peace of mind. Activate Cash gives you generous cash back for scans and tests, and with Activate Hospital, you can upgrade whenever you want for faster access to private treatment. Switch to GloHealth and get your health cover from just €32 a month. GloHealth Activate. Cashback for scans and tests. Upgrade to a hospital plan whenever you want. GloHealth. My cover, my way.